Look.
We do everything from armed and unarmed security officers, executive protection, special projects, special events, surveillance installs, surveillance monitoring, recently robotics initiatives and UAS drone type operations. And I really, in the industry, I call myself kind of a systems integrator.
Okay.
Working to put different systems in place, understanding customers' needs, and at the very distilled down version, just solving problems.
Gotcha.
Right? Like that's what you do. Try to solve
Absolutely.
problems over and over again. So.
Staying on your toes. I mean, companies ever evolving, especially today. I mean, you briefly said AI right there. I mean, that's a big step, man. I mean, AI is getting integrated in pretty much every serious company nowadays. I mean, what's that look like for you, man?
I mean, AI is to the point where it's like a drinking game buzzword where you don't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't want to speak ill of like my colleagues in the security industry, but it can be a dusty industry. There are people that are aging out and looking to retire in the industry, and the current applications range from just streamlining general business tasks to incident reporting, incident management, threat assessments, analytics. There's a lot being done with machine learning and artificial intelligence. However, I think at a very core level, like people are still learning how to prompt large language models.
Well, they think AI, they think defense. You know what I mean? I mean, that's really all we hear about it when you think of AI. I mean, it's a little taboo lately what it's involved in, but we don't really hear about like the low impact stuff. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think about that? Is it too early of a stage for it to do something like that, or is that something that it can facilitate pretty easily?
No, I think everybody is trialing it, or I think the research and development is happening. The early adopters that happened a long time ago. So we're at kind of like mid stage, late stage adoption, and then people are figuring out how to make it work for them.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to put these guardrails and backstops on this so that your end product doesn't come out looking like a shitty chain email, right? Because everybody gets those,
Well said.
Dear Matt, we really like what you're doing. We would like to sell you this thing. It's like delete.
Generic.
Yeah. So, and I mean, look, you're not taking humans out of the loop, but we're trying to make humans more efficient with it. I think that's kind of the end state and the goal. The force multiplication of it is a real possibility. I don't want. You've met our office admin. She's probably the nicest person in the company.
Absolutely.
Like, if I could multiply her 5 times, I can't, obviously, right? Like, she was a hard person to hire and to keep on and to like get in the position that she's in. But if I can start to take away some of the mundane bullshit tasks that she doesn't want to do and allow her to do things that her talents are better applied to, then that's a success when you talk about.
That's a good way to look at it. That's a good way to look at it.
Very simple form of it. Yeah.
I the way you just said that right there, I don't think it's thought about enough, because I mean, once again, when you think AI, the layman doesn't even know what to think, and when you're talking about it like that, to just assist humans in just giving a better product or focusing on the more important things. I mean, that's definitely something that can be thought about in a positive light.
There's infinite applications for it, but you just got to be. I think you have to be measured with how you apply it, and there's still just a lot to figure out. People don't know what they don't know. I mean, I've been using like a ChatGPT variant for years now. It's helpful, but it doesn't do all the work for you.
No.
Right? We used to use mail merge and templates for contracts and things like that, and you were maybe getting a product that you had to do you did 60% of the work once, and then you were just doing the remaining 40% over and over again. Now you're looking at a GPT allows you, or the integrations that it has, to automate workflows and to build templates and things. It's now doing like 95% of the work for you. If you're not reading the final product before you turn it over to a customer, you're a dummy.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, absolutely. Well said. Okay, so we kind of spit off,
spin off on that one.
yeah. I mean, AI is a juicy one, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not? But tell us a little bit about where you grew up, early Marine Corps, how it happened, why it happened, and what it was like.
Yeah. So grew up in metropolitan Detroit area, initially in the city of Detroit, and then kind of moved, as most people from the Detroit area do, farther and farther out of the city into the suburbs. We grew up in a automotive family. Working in the automotive factories, and I had a brother and sister, mom and dad. Played sports growing up, and kind of had a
good childhood,
pretty decent childhood for the most part. Yeah, I mean, Detroit's a rough area, so you see some things that in the 80s in Detroit, you grow up pretty fast.
I'm sure, dude.
I was say good childhood. It's kind of a paradox, right? I don't regret anything.
Well, not only that, it's weird thinking about it, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, no one really likes talking about their childhood because it's not only is it private, but I mean, it's far away to a certain degree, dude. I mean, it's definitely personal.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'm a pretty open book when it comes towards it. It's a special, sensitive subject because recently I lost my dad.
R.I.P.
So that's been a tough one to think about.
And how can you not think about that while talking about it?
Yeah. So in the effort to keep it together, I just had to do his eulogy, which was a pretty intense experience.
Haven't done that. That was the first time, right? Yeah.
No, I've done eulogies for Marines that I lost.
Oh, okay.
So I was good friends with. So it wasn't unfortunately it wasn't my first time doing it, but for somebody that close.
Yeah.
And
I mean, when you said Marines, I mean that's close too. But someone that close in your family, understood.
It was a very heavy responsibility, and you don't get to go back and tell the real stories of all the time your dad pissed you off,
right?
Because it's not about you, right? So, so growing up, it was certain parts of childhood were rough, right? Like 80s, 90s, there was things we would call as abuse today. Back then,
a little different today, yeah.
Alcoholic type situation.
That was pretty normal. With the generation before us.
I look back on it now after decades of therapy and say, and I comfortably say this. I'm not playing it down, but my parents did the best they could. They provided great opportunities for me. Yep. They definitely made some mistakes. I make mistakes in parenting every fucking day, so it's not I understand.
Let's be real here. Yeah.
And we grew up. I did a little stint of incarceration in a foreign country as a young kid. And
learning experience.
And then went to the military. I tried college out for a little while. I went to Michigan State.
Pre-military?
Yeah, I went to Michigan State for a semester. I didn't do much learning or going to class.
How old? What are we talking? 19, 20?
Yeah, I would have been right out of high school. Yeah. So 2004, 19. I think I went into the Marine Corps 19 or 20 years old. So did a little stint at Michigan State. Didn't party a whole. I definitely partied, but I was working and I didn't really see the value in the general education credits and the early phases of an undergrad degree. I also had no idea what I wanted to major in. I started off as a psychology major, switched to a business, and then a political science, then back to business.
This is all before the Marines?
Ultimately, no. I did a semester, dropped out.
Gotcha.
I went to the Marines, and then later on graduated.
Gotcha. Okay.
So a lot of people go to college for 11 years.
Yeah, of course.
They're called doctors, lawyers. Got a business degree, so yeah.
Okay. So did you think? I think post-military, you can probably soak in college a lot more than you need to, versus pre. I mean, when I think of myself,
I did it during the military. So I did the bulk of my undergrad.
Give me a time, what were you in the military?
It was after I got hit in Afghanistan and was in the Wounded Warrior program. Okay. And I had downtime, so I really went hard for.
Were you the only one doing that? Did you see anyone else doing that? Taking advantage of the ability to do that at that?
Other people went to school. The thing was, if you did school and you did an internship, you didn't really have to show up to much of the Marine Corps activities. Exactly. So the people that were doing that weren't really interacting every day and going to formation.
Facts.
They were like, hey, those guys and gals are out doing good things, we'll leave them alone. So there was a benefit to it, right? So I was incentivized to do that. At that point, too, and I had good officers.
You're talking officers. 14, 15, right?
No, this would have been 2010 was when I started. Oh, okay. I took I want to say I stayed enrolled and took at least one class a semester when I was in RECON and going on deployment.
Okay.
And then I finished right before I retired.
Okay.
So I actually earned my degree in 2016.
You stay busy.
Yeah.
Good officers, bad officers?
Yeah, so that was part of an inspiration to it, right? You're like, these guys are in charge of me because they got a degree in something.
You're bulldozing over that real quick. I mean, we talk about officers and automatically you think they know what they're doing, but when you get
you see it from when you do your first deployment. You're like, all right, this lieutenant's in charge. I had an enlisted guy as my platoon commander on my first deployment. He later became a gunner, so it was an interesting dynamic there. On my second deployment, we had a lieutenant, nice guy, Texas A&M guy, if I recall.
Savvy though?
He was good. I mean, he was better over time. I saw him as a captain and I believe a major, and he was much better, right? But
like, what he needed to be?
Yeah, for sure. He was not super invasive or demanding. He let the enlisted guys kind of run the show.
Which is what you need to do.
And by the way, a weapons platoon will crush a young lieutenant if you don't.
That's a fact.
Most weapons platoons will, at least during the GWAT era.
If you don't just submit, and let them.
You gotta trust. You gotta trust your staff NCOs, your NCOs, and like, there's this relationship that works. That like, we don't want to make you look bad. You don't want to make us look bad.
We understand that.
Yeah.
As long as you respect that.
Yeah, and a young lieutenant, like they have these, they're very idealistic.
Very true.
They
want to do big things.
Yeah, that shit changes in a deployment.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
oh, this is what I can do.
Yeah. So so anyway, so I saw good and bad officers, and everything in between, and I was like, I'm gonna get a degree. Like, and there was at one point where I was putting in for MESEP.
Oh, okay.
So, guy, some Colonel Bates was, I told you about him in the last episode, big mentor to me, 3-time Purple Heart recipient, OIF and Vietnam vet, but went from a PFC to a sergeant in Vietnam, and then a lieutenant to a colonel on the O side, and so he was the apex of what a good officer was to me, right?
Could you tell us real quick maybe a story about when you first met him, or a significant story?
Yeah, I think we talked about the other. So he would come in and volunteer with Wounded Warriors as like a mentor, and he came in and the first thing he said to me was something along the lines of like, "How's it going? How do you like it here?" I'm like, "Sir, I don't like this place is fucking welfare for Marines. Like, can you get me out of here?" And it was kind of like a puppy in the window, like, "Help me,
please.
leave. You are an 03, and like
you understand.
You seem like people listen to you, so help me get out of here."
Please.
And he took a liking to me right away. Thank God he did. And I think I went over to his house and had some dinner, met his wife, Stephanie.
Explain that kind of relationship, dude, because it happens a lot in the Marine Corps, dude. A young guy like yourself finds a mentor like that. That's pretty prestigious.
Oh man,
how do you handle that? I mean, do you just pick up all the gems you can and try to implement them? Because
I think
it's rare.
There's certain things that are going to kill your ego in the Marine Corps, and like taking a massive IED to the face is going to kill your ego, right? Facts. You get it back, you get like your pride back, but like you're going to rely on other people,
of course.
I would say at the time, and I would still say, like, if I found a good mentor, like I would follow them around and hold their pocket like a prison bitch.
You need to.
I want to learn everything they have to give and put out, and I don't want to ask for much. Like, I like to try and see if I can provide any value to them,
because at the least that's what you want them to be able to do, right?
Yeah, I think like I don't think you realize at the time.
Of course.
Colonel Bates and I have been friends since 2010, right? So 15 years. We stay in touch. We talk pretty regularly, and he came out, was the guest of honor at our Marine Corps ball. It's a great relationship. He was my retiring officer. He did my retirement ceremony at the Bellagio Fountain.
Really?
That was pretty cool.
Whoa.
So yeah, he's been a good friend, but it's interesting his perspective. So he saw the Marine Corps through multiple wars, peacetime, big periods of peacetime, right?
Which is such a big deal.
And so many different ranks, right? There was only one rank that I held that he didn't, and that was staff sergeant, right?
Okay.
And he encouraged me to go pursue being a Marine officer, and he was like, "Hey, like I think you have a chance of being a good officer. You were a good NCO, but like you'd be a good officer." But the Marine Corps needs officers like that. They need the
desperately
prior enlisted guys. Not all of them. And I've had great officers that were.
I hear you when you say that.
It's in any case, like, to kind of bring that around, it inspired me to want to pursue a degree, really just to like be like, fuck you, I did this too, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
And I applied for MESEP. I went through General Brolakis. He was.
Why do I know that name?
I think he was an 03, but he was a pretty big figure in the Marine Corps. I couldn't cite to you what his position was, but
significant.
I had to go out to DC for an award for volunteering for some things, and the Secretary of Defense and Brolakis was my handler. And when I got there, he's like, "Why do I remember your name?" And I was like, "Sir, I don't know if I've ever met you in my life.
Hopefully it was a good one.
But maybe you came out to, maybe you came out and visit us, and
this
is where I was in Iraq and Afghanistan and stuff." And he was like, no, it's recent. And I was like, he's like, "Did you apply for MESEP?" And I was like, "I did." he's like, you're the human fucking coloring book, false felony charges, huh? And I was like,
That's funny.
I was like,
Small
never,
fucking world.
never
dude.
convicted, sir. But he's like, hey, we'll keep applying, you know. And I was like, well, at the time, I had also put in my package for RECON and was kind of
That's
orchestrating
yeah,
that, and that seemed like a cooler.
Of course.
I'm glad I went the route I did, right? So.
Are you though? I mean, once again,
Oh,
hindsight's
yeah.
2020. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you. Yeah.
So I have friends right now that are lieutenant colonels and colonels.
Hating life.
And no generals yet, but like, I'm not that old yet. But like lieutenant colonels and colonels, and I think they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I think they're good people to have in the Marine Corps doing that.
So that's at the very least, that's all you can ask for.
My peers are sergeants major and master gunnery sergeants now, and things like that. So it's interesting to see. I don't envy them.
No.
I'm perfectly happy not being in the Marine Corps anymore.
It's still at the same time, it's cool to look back though. It's cool to look back and think, what if, dude? I mean, you can fucking call it corny all you want, dude.
Oh no,
we all do it.
Had I not gotten injured, I probably would have stayed in.
Yeah.
There was a couple other things that like happened in my career that were big decision points for me.
Mm-hmm.
I did not want to have a family and then deploy and leave them.
Oh, dude, that's now expunge on that a little bit, please. So,
well, I got a BAH contract marriage type. I didn't say contract marriage. I got married to my high school sweetheart, and like I don't think she would have married me if it didn't mean I was plugging her in Detroit and putting her in Hawaii. And it wasn't a good idea. It didn't make it through our first deployment. I don't want people to know who she is and stuff, so I don't want.
Yeah, of course. You said what you need to say.
Shit on it. We were kids.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
We were kids.
We've all done it, dude.
And we were playing house, and it didn't work out. And then I saw my peers, my subordinates, like guys that went through rough marriages and then had kids too, right? And sometimes they had kids and they had a loving marriage. Sometimes they just had kids to like try it, like oh, this will fix it.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't fix it,
No,
right?
Makes it worse.
And you grow up, you live on base. You see all
that dichotomy,
the good, the bad, whatever, right?
Such a club. Yeah.
I had my son right before I retired.
I never asked you like when your relationship was according to like where you were at in the Marine Corps. Actually, it's funny.
My wife.
Yeah.
We got married after I got injured, pretty quickly actually.
Okay.
And I knew her for years before we got married. We grew up together. Her older sister was married to one of my best friends.
Gotcha. You told me that. Yep. Okay.
So
the latter days.
What, like after getting hurt, or
you're on your way out to a certain degree.
Yeah, I mean, I went on that. My last deployment was a MEU, but it was like the forever workup, right? Like Third Marines, you get in this. We're jumping around a little bit, but like Third Marines, if you listen to the last podcast, you kind of cross-reference.
Yep.
Third Marines, you're used to a 1-to-1 dwell to deployment ratio. Yep. Mm-hmm. So you're on island for like 7 months, deployed for 7 months, plus or minus a couple months. But like, I got 3 deployments in my first enlistment, and my second enlistment per se, like my next 5 years, I got 1.
Really?
Our workup was almost 3 years long.
That you just got the MEU on the last?
If you catch a full growth, this was kind of a unique situation, but when I got to First Recon Alpha Company, and then we rolled into the Force Detachment, you go through an individual schools phase. Now, when I got there, I was trying to go back to Afghanistan. That was my goal. I actually had orders to 1-1 and denied orders to 1-1 because I was already going to BRC.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So my package got approved. I would have been in Kajaki with some buddies in 1-1.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I want to go back to Afghanistan. The career monitor was like, Recon will always be going to Afghanistan.
Of course.
No, we didn't deploy to Afghanistan again after I got there.
I know you were salty.
I mean, whatever. I was just like, all right, well, what's next? They're like, well, you're going to go through an individual schools phase.
Did you get anything what'd you get out of it?
I went to jump.
You got some schools in.
Double bag static line, which is not football, but it's hey-ho. It's like the high altitude opening.
I know it is.
Not a bad school. It was the way they do it.
How'd you come out of it, dude?
I mean, you're jumping a square shoot in that. Like jump school, you're jumping around shoots. You're just hitting the ground. I don't know. It was whatever. It was just a thing we did. Got my gold wings in the school, and I'm trying. So JTAC was a big thing. We talked about that in the last one. It's a joint terminal attack controller, being able to control aircraft,
which is a big deal when you're in. I mean, it's a notch on the old belt.
Brother, I just had a friend that retired. I won't name the guy, but like he went from First Recon to DevGru and was a JTAC at DevGru and running controls in Africa.
Really?
Had an awesome career. So like that MOS,
Yeah.
it's not your primary MOS, but it can take you places.
Of course, 1,000%.
Justin Kramer, you've had on your podcast,
Yep.
good buddy of mine. We were on a mute together. He was a phenomenal JTAC.
He talks about it on the show. Yep.
Yeah, so he was a buddy of mine and a bit of a mentor in that aspect.
Real quick,
as well.
as a JTAC, what makes you a good JTAC?
Um,
Attention to detail, or is it?
all of those things,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
you can't screw that up, right? So you have to know where your margins of error are, and you have to.
Is that from reps, or is that
Oh,
just
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Testing
reps under
testing the lateral limit.
stress.
Yeah.
Right. So they put you under a lot of stress in school. It's generally that like it's supposed to be more of a staff NCO, senior staff NCO, and officer type thing.
With your hard charger. you can sneak
Sergeants
in.
were getting sniped in it when I was in the course, and I was only in that course because a SEAL didn't go, and I sat on the steps until they.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he failed out.
Oh.
And it wasn't, he was a young buds guy. He wasn't. He just was. The way those schools come up sometimes is like,
I know.
hey, you want to go?
Yeah.
And you're like,
What are you doing
I'm
right
ready.
now? Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing tomorrow? You want to go sniper school?
Better be in shape. Yeah.
Yeah, that literally happened, and I was like, I'm not going to fucking sniper school like today or tomorrow.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Yeah. And I had a platoon sergeant that was like, "What do you mean you're not going to?"
What do you mean you're not gonna
I'm
fucking
like,
take that shit?
I'm like, dude, I'm fucking washed up,
Yeah.
man. I'm broken so many places. Like,
When we're talking sniper school, you got to be in like at least 80% condition to you know.
I
you gotta be,
would need 6 months of prep.
Yeah,
At that
exactly,
age.
exactly.
And nowadays, I don't think I got.
as an old dog, dude, doing something like that, you're either nuts or you know you're asking for a death wish. To a
No, I
sergeant.
did BRC in my late 20s and Squalor's course and Sergeant.
Oh.
Sergeant course was not tough. It was
No,
just
Squalor's
annoying.
course, though, was another
Squalor's
bad.
course was a bitch.
Yeah.
Back when it was 3 months long in
Okay.
Hawaii. Yeah, so
You
I
kick your dick in,
Oh,
dude.
yeah. It was brutal. It was great though. It was good.
I mean, you come out with your balls a little bigger.
You come out. I think that probably like fast forwarded my career like 2 years. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
What the connections you made in there, or just some of the stuff that you put in the old toolbox?
If you take a corporal that just got out of Squalor's course and a staff sergeant that just came off a B billet, who's more competent?
Of course, 1,000%.
You know who it
Yeah,
is.
of course.
Like a corporal fresh off of 1 or 2 combat deployments and out of Squalor's course, and then a staff sergeant that's been. And again,
Sitting
no
on
offense
his-
to those guys, they got to do. The Marine Corps needs
They
it.
all have to do it. Yeah, but I mean,
like,
call a
yeah.
spade a spade.
No thanks, man.
Yeah.
No thanks. So it was a good part of my career. But back to like the recon workup, right? So I went to a bunch of these subset schools that go along with JTAC, which is like collateral damage estimation,
Oh, cool.
targeting. You go to Dam Neck of Virginia, where all
That's
that.
dope.
Nah, it's not, dude.
I mean, still, just to go to that course, dude, and know that knowledge. I mean, come on, man. That's
It's a lot. You learn a lot. You're not going to be able to retain all of it.
how
but, like, you get the
how many
references.
other are your peers are you seeing are there with you? You know what I'm saying? I mean, are you just trailblazing at this point?
I had a platoon with. I mean, my recon team had
Studs.
2 or 3 JTACs in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Stacked.
We had a Silver Star, Bronze Star, multiple Purple Hearts. This was in my team. In my company, I mean, Frank Simmons was in my company. Like guys like that were. You got to
Stacking-
work with,
stacking them over
dudes
here.
that are over at the unit now, like guys that went to
Talk about being in that environment, though, dude. I mean, you're always pushing yourself. You're always. I mean, guys like that. I mean,
you'll get kicked out of the team if you don't perform.
Facts.
It's performance on demand.
And that's why people like us are clashing with the time like this when it comes to like, listen, I got to do it, dude. I mean,
In the Marine Corps, you have a rigid set of standards, and if people aren't living up to the stand, in
but
certain
you see how it
skills,
elevates the best person for the position.
100%. But in the world, you don't get to go into the world and be like,
I know.
get the fuck up right now, right? Like you have to kind of meet the world where it's at, in a way. And
You're being humble and being very appreciative for all that because you know it's a little bit more than that, dude.
it's hard. But what am I supposed to do, dude? I already have.
I get you.
I already have a heart
I
condition.
struggle with this constantly. I struggle with this constantly.
Yes, of course you do. I watch you do it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I don't like. It's You can
How
only
do you-
change
how
the
do you-
things you can change. You know.
How do you? I mean, that's something that come from the Marine Corps, come from an operation, you know, back being operational, deploying, coming back, training, you know, consecutively. I mean, how do you just shed that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
Dude, my first couple years out of the Marine Corps were pretty fucking cool. I'll be honest with you. Like we went on that deployment. It was a rough. My best friend died of an overdose I shouldn't really say an overdose because it makes it sound the wrong way it is, right? So he had an issue with prescribed opiate-based painkillers. We got blown up together. I went through a similar issue, not to nearly to that
I
degree.
think a lot of us did.
And he, for a time, was addicted to heroin. He got some help, got clean for a long time.
Did that back and forth.
And then what I believe actually occurred, and he died on one of my best friends in an apartment they shared together. So it was, what I believe what occurred was he probably got a hot shot of fentanyl after coming off of a long period of sobriety, and it didn't work out for him, right? So I lost him right before we went to our certification exercise.
Oh,
no,
man.
I think it was one of our like middle exercises we do before we deploy.
Did you take it personally and use it?
What's that?
Coming from something like that, I mean, like, where are you at?
I called my team leader and I said, hey, I need potentially a couple weeks, at least several days. I said, I don't know where this stands as a Red Cross message, but like that was, somebody that is not only my brother-in-law,
significantly close to you.
Yeah. But yeah, he's one of my best friends. We did 3 deployments together, got blown up together. And went back and worked with his family and got his funeral together, all his affairs in order.
That's not easy, man. I mean, you're breezing over it right now, but I mean, something like that. I mean,
that was terrible.
Oh, fuck.
Like somebody ripped my chest out.
Coming back from like something like that and continuing to be operational, man. How do you do it, man? I mean, you gonna
assimilate with guys that have all done it before.
Like-minded individuals.
Yeah, and a lot of it is probably, my therapists would tell me that it was unhealthy that I compressed it and just fucking pressed on.
Compartmentalize, that's what they call it.
Yeah, compartmentalize, compress it, like put it in a fucking box and don't talk about it for a little while.
Exactly.
It comes up and you can't fight it at times, but at the same time too, like I was, at that point, I had lost a lot of friends. Whether
We're talking about it like it's normal, but I mean, listen,
No,
I understand it's normal
terrible.
to us to a certain degree, but it's still extreme, And
it's terrible, but everyone's different. It depends on a lot of things.
You're saying they take it differently?
Well, everyone's very different in every aspect of it, but like when I'm somewhere in the realm of like 50, if I counted, right? Like I know the ones that are very close to me. That's without the doubt, and I know a lot of their names, and I go through on Memorial Day and look at pictures and think about it.
Emotional Day, you mean?
More often than just Memorial Day too. I try to I try and think about it, but I won't go climb into a fucking bottle for him anymore.
And that's what happens a lot, dude.
So losing my best friend versus losing a guy that I went to boot camp with versus losing a guy that I did 2 deployments with and he was in another platoon. Those all have different proximal effects.
Of course.
Right? So like
experience different things with different guys, yeah.
And if you were in the same Marine Corps I was, like you also saw guys and gals that synthesized the relationship they had with somebody that was, and you were kind of like, what? I don't remember you being friends with this person.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had guys that died, and I was like, yo, that guy was being kind of an asshole when he died. Like, what the fuck?
Is
nobody gonna say that?
It's a mind fuck, dude. No, it's true though.
I don't like. It's a hard thing to do. But anyway, they all kind of affect you differently, and that one was.
We're breezing over some heavy topics right now, and they're prevalent because a lot of guys. Listen, I mean, we're talking to our demographic right now, man. Like, and this stuff. Listen, we're like-minded individuals, so it's kind of comfortable to talk about this because we both know we experienced it. But I understand it's heavy stuff, and I understand you guys too. You struggle with it, dude, because it's not. It's hard conversations. And
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like I still miss those dudes. I wish they were here.
I know.
And I've gone through this phase in my life where I was like, I'm gonna live every day like they would if they got another chance. That is good.
It's a great way to think about it.
No, it's not. It turns bad though, and I'll tell you why. Right. So the reason it kind of starts to go bad is because at some point you can't sit down and take a fucking breath without feeling like a piece of shit. And you're like, like fuck, dude. If they had another minute, what would they do with it? Get up.
And I'm over here, and I'm over here. Yeah.
Yeah, and you chase these. I don't know if it's like accomplishments or like. I for one, I chased accomplishments. I chased.
What to supplement survivor's guilt in a way, dude? Like I mean,
to a thing, yeah, to a degree. And it was like layers of survivor's guilt, dude. Like my buddy dying from an overdose. After going through a really rough period in his life that was close to us and that I understood, but that other people also
it makes a lot closer with them.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I saw senior enlisted Marines be like, that guy's a piece of shit, and I was like, yo, that guy needs your fucking help.
Yeah.
Like this is what's gonna fuck him up is because you won't help him and you're too much of a
And that's a
fucking
common
idiot
thing in
to
the Marine
understand.
Corps, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
we're over there, we're losing friends, we're dying, we're talking about life and death, and we come back and you can't get our backs when we're struggling. I mean, it's expected. You can't-
They can get your back though. I refuse to like shit on the Marine Corps for it.
that's the
because-
easy route. That's the easy route. I get it.
Well,
But it happens, Matt. I mean,
dude, but how many guys do you watch that are like, fuck the VA?
I'm sick of doing that. It's not fair. Because
Then go fucking pay for health. Like go like get what you can from the VA.
exactly.
I cash pay for health shit because I'm not gonna not get it.
If you want to be proactive about it and you want to address the stuff, you can. So I don't want to hear that shit.
There's stuff out there.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
resources. So and guys get up. It sucks that there's so many obstacles. It sucks that it's
At
hard.
the end of the day, the
navigate.
VA's there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it takes long sometimes, but they do it.
Well, yeah. Listen, they got their own set of problems too.
Of course,
as
right?
you know, I'm more close to that than most. So,
But still, once again, that's the easy route, dude. I could shit on the VA all day. I've had bad experiences. I've had good experience. But at the end of the day, it's there for me.
it's a resource.
Yeah.
Right. Like it is a resource out of other. Anyway, so like to not jump around, right? So, I kind of lost track of it. We were talking about.
We bounced around a little bit there.
Um,
You want to stay on VA or do you want to go towards? I mean, we're talking you passed recon course, so I mean you're.
Well, I was making the decision that it was probably coming to the end of my career.
Was there like a moment for it, or did you just like
I mean, when my buddy died was the point where I was like, "Fuck, dude, I don't
accept
know
it?
if I can."
Yeah.
That was before I went on that deployment, though.
Oof.
So it was like,
So there was a give and take there.
and when I'm on deployment, I'm like, "This is different." I'm on
Yeah.
a boat for 6
I'm enjoying
days.
this a little bit.
I don't know about that.
Or I mean, it's
It
still.
was
I mean,
rough. Like
news are never enjoyable to a certain degree, but I
we
mean,
did some awesome shit.
That's
but,
what I
like,
mean.
when you're locked in a coffin,
Exactly.
rack and like you
Sitting on a ship is never fun, dude.
Groundhog Day it every day, and like you're just like, what the fuck am I doing with
Dude,
my
I'm
life?
35, or I'm like mid 30s, and I'm sitting on a ship with a bunch of young kids, and like, what am I doing? That has to be thought, like,
It was nice to be a recon Marine during that,
dude, because you walk around with like a 12-inch dick everywhere you go.
and we could take our Zodiacs and just fucking bail. Like, see ya. When you weren't in the middle, I mean, when you're in the middle of the ocean, you got nowhere to go.
Yeah,
but when
yeah,
you're close to port, you're like, I'm out of here.
That's dope.
We had our own gym that we packed up in a comics box.
Did you all wear black beanies?
I mean, we had black beanies, black silkies, black beanies, and black t-shirts.
I just
yeah.
watched. What's
Generation
the,
Q.
Yeah. I had to talk about it. Yeah.
Uh,
Is there more than just Rudy in there? Is there?
I think Rudy's the only one that plays himself.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
Willie is one of the guys, and then he's a good buddy of mine. Like,
Dude, honestly, I thought that really showed what we're kind of talking about in a way. I mean, so it can
it
be.
definitely made me want to be a recon Marine.
Yeah, facts.
Like that's
Facts.
like it was definitely some war porn that like, and they did a good job. It was an HBO
That's what I mean.
documentary. Like, when I got there, I was like, oh man, I really wish this was like back in the early GWOT days, being a recon Marine running a gun. And now I feel like we're LARPing all day
Yeah,
long,
facts.
and it's cool that we jump
That's
on
what we all
airplanes,
do.
but like
Yeah.
whenever like we're not jumping into a mission in
Yeah.
Afghanistan.
There's no. We don't need to be jumping out of this perfectly good airplane. Yeah.
No, it was the thing was, man, it was as hard as anything got, whether it was emotionally or losing a buddy, like you were surrounded by good company, by guys that were enduring that too.
You think that helped you the most?
Oh, so still to this day.
I know that helps me the most.
Some of those guys are guys that like it's not that I won't. I have good buddies that were grunts with me. I really do, and they're people I lean on for things routinely. But there's also dudes that were operating at a different level of success and elite, and like I looked up to some of those guys,
How can you
and
not?
they may call me a peer of theirs. I don't know. I probably didn't consider myself a peer of theirs at the time. I just wanted to be a part of that fucking club and
Yeah.
fit in, and I was still kind of amazed that I got to be there after all the shit getting blown up and like all that. And I also like you kind of realize that like if you can't perform at that level, like it's
You're not needed.
time to go do something else.
Yeah.
Like,
Time to go to pasture.
Yeah, don't let them put you out the pasture.
Yeah, exactly.
That's embarrassing, right?
Exactly.
So like I got to the point
Do it
where
yourself.
I was like, yeah,
Throw yourself out there.
I mean, I fucking wrecked my back a little bit more than it was before. I kept having to have eye surgeries and
Fuck,
stuff,
dude,
and I
that
was just like, you know
sucks.
what? And when you go in this cycle of recovery, and then surgery, and then
fucks with your
recovery.
head, dude.
Yeah, you can't. Your metabolism gets all fucked up. You try to.
Then your confidence is affected, dude. You don't know how effective you can be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and fear is the mind killer. You know, once that gets in your brain, dude, it's.
There are objective tests and metrics, right? Like when you're doing a CQB course, you shoot the qual every fucking day, and if you don't pass qual, you ain't going through the course that day. So I was still shooting at a high level. I was still. Was it motor
skills that were affecting you the most? Because at the very basic, I'll
still outshoot people today with a one.
I'm not even talking about shooting because that's more of a skill, dude. Once you're good at shooting, you kind of hang on to it.
Skills you have. I mean, I had the loss of dexterity. I had to have my arm reconstructed on my right side. So like, I mean, I had to for like a year. Only 2 of my fingers moved. So like that shit. But I was not when I was at RECON, right? So
I'm curious what bugged you the most because you're a very critical motherfucker, dude.
Frustrated.
Yeah, because
you don't want to go into any situation and tell anybody about it.
I know.
You don't want to give yourself like an excuse to why
be a bitch. That's how we think, dude.
Be as good as everybody else.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna try as hard as I can, and put out, and like hopefully I land in the top 25, top 50%.
Yep. That's been good to you so far.
It's it's been good. I mean, there's been times where I've fallen flat on my fucking face and failed. Like, but
you gotta learn from it.
That's all you can do. You know, it's kind of how you come back to that stuff. So like, you know, got through that deployment.
Talk to me about, dude, because I'm experiencing it right now. Coming out from the Marines and getting back to normal, whatever the fuck that is, dude, is not easy, dude.
Well, first, like, what's normal?
Once again, that's subjective. You know, we can go on that for another half hour.
It doesn't really exist these days, man.
Able to operate and
functional, right?
Yeah, functional.
Yeah, so let's say functional, right? And then like what your version of functional is, because if you're functional but you're unhappy every day,
what's the point?
Yeah,
I hear that. But I think being able to maintain a job, having a decent social life, if you will. Once again, we're talking about my normal.
Let me distill it down into something. So I've thought about this a lot, right? So a sense of purpose. You're solving a problem, right? You're doing something useful in the world, right?
It's a lot.
Doesn't have to be. You don't have to cure cancer tomorrow. You know, but like you're doing something useful.
Small wins, if you will.
You're progressive or forward momentum, right? Like you are, you know, the theory of compound interest, the concept of compound interest is not.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if you don't become a millionaire overnight, you have to
of course
incrementally improve. You know,
so always striving for better.
Yeah. So you're doing, and then like the people you're surrounded with have a big part of it.
That's so important, dude. I'm realizing that as I get older.
Yeah, it's weird. My circle gets smaller and smaller the older I get. It's not that I'm like cutting people out.
But that's how you grow, though. Dude. I mean, we've talked about this before.
And then
I'm realizing that as I get older, I have to be cognizant about who I surround myself with, because at the end of the day, that's what that's where I'm going to end up, or that's what I'm going to be doing. And you got to strive for better, and being objective, or always knowing that you're not the forward thinker in every thing that like you can get better at things. I mean, I think that's important.
Yeah, I mean, you lie down with dogs, you wake up with fleas, cannoli.
Thanks.
But I sleep with my dog too sometimes. It's I don't know, man. I don't ever feel like I've achieved happiness at any point.
First of all, what's happy to you, dude? I'm sure you got high standards, but I mean,
no, I have moments where I like look on my life and I'm like, man, this is like such a blessing, like having health. And
I was going to ask you that, if you could appreciate this, because you've accomplished a significant amount. To have a company at all, or just being at the head of a company, dude, that's an accomplishment, man. Do you ever sit down and just think about, like, dude, fuck?
I do, but it's always sandwiched by the pressure of performance, right? Like, you have a lot of people that rely on you.
Is it true the more you perform, the more that grows? You know what I'm saying? Like, the more you succeed, the more you, like, expect of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I've ever, like, felt successful as a destination. Like, I've felt successful in the journey. I don't look at things as like a destination, or at least I try to remind myself that. Like, gratitude.
I never thought of it like that.
Gratitude is a hard thing. I don't ever look on my life and I'm like, fuck, why me? That's not like that. That's years ago. Maybe as like a teenager was like.
That's easy, right?
Last time I did that, right?
Yeah.
I've never
wallowed on yourself.
Yeah, and I can't be a victim on anything. Like, I just refuse to do that. But the concept of gratitude is something that I think that like I am in search of figuring out more, and like it's easy to do in the moment, but to live a life with gratitude is something I didn't really ever understand. I still don't quite understand that, but I feel like little moments in time where I'm like, oh, that's it.
Clarity. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right. Like
That's cool.
I think it's important to like recognize trauma in my life, dating back to like childhood and stuff like that. And obviously, I've talked about this. I've been an advocate for it. Working through different types of therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is like one of the most kind of common starting places. It's also where most people wash out, where they're like,
because it's hard.
Why do I talk to this person that doesn't know anything, doesn't know shit about me? Like, I've had therapists that were combat veterans.
Does it help?
Yeah, for a time. It was a good season in my life that I had that. And then I needed something else. I've had therapists that I fired on the first time I met them.
What are you looking for, you think? That you're hearing me? That you're listening?
No, I don't even go into it with what am I looking for anymore. My most recent therapist is like a multi-time cancer survivor. She helps people in like Hollywood roles with stuff. It's really weird dynamic, but
Refuses
it really
to
works.
be a victim?
Oh no, she's not a victim at all. But she does like woo-woo stuff like meditations and guided meditations. I was looking for like reducing some of the stress and the noise in my life, and then kind of like digging a little bit deeper down into things. I told you I did ketamine-assisted psychotherapy at one point.
What was the pro that you got out of that?
Oh, I mean, there's lots of pros. I'm still probably analyzing that experience, but
Now let me expand on that a little bit, because I myself have done that as well, and to be honest, I'll be honest about it. I've done shrooms before, and I haven't gone into the experience of trying to like get high, like, you know what I mean. I knew it was a different way to look at things, and the way it made me view I think over time we forget about the things we need to fix, or we procrastinate on them. And yeah, I'll be able to fix that in the future. It reminds you of those things, and it puts in clarity of the things that, like, listen, it's not that bad. You just need to fix this and this and this, and you'll be good. I feel like that's what I get out of those kind of experiences.
I think everybody gets their own individual. That's probably a component to it. I can say that, like, I wouldn't use exactly those words, but I feel the concept of that. I don't know. When ketamine-assisted psychotherapy, you go to a psychiatrist and they inject you, right? So you get an IV with ketamine, and a certain amount that's dosed for you based on your height and weight, I believe. Prior to going through the actual treatment where they administer ketamine, you go to a couple initial ones where they kind of go over your psychosocial history and things like that, and I think prep you for it to some degree.
Gotcha.
I definitely dabbled with psychedelics prior to the Marine Corps and after the Marine Corps. Not to that extreme. Like, I think recreationally taking mushrooms as a kid, you're kind of toying with something that's really powerful and you don't realize it.
You're not appreciating it for what
ketamine-assisted psychotherapy. I remember like two very prominent moments. Like, I remember at one point being like stripped of my person. Like, I wasn't a person anymore.
Damn, that's deep.
I was just like an entity floating in some kind of universe, and I remember being like, that's the ego death. Nothing, like no physical, tangible object is important to me. The only thing that matters to me is like, and at that point, like the only thing I could think of like the important relationships in my life, the people that matter. And I remember a vision where like every male adult in my lineage was flowing through me and into my son.
Damn.
And that was super powerful. And you could probably write poems and books and essays on that.
Of course.
I'm still conceptualizing that and like what it means to me.
Appreciating it completely.
What it meant to me at the time and what kind of sticks with me is like you're kind of a conduit or a filter for the good and the bad, and you don't get to control all of it, right? Like, so
that is the way.
The person that I made is, I don't know how he's going to grow up. He's pretty cool right now. I really enjoy spending time with him. It's a really big challenge.
Do you stress about that?
Oh yeah, all the time.
I never thought about it. I don't have a kid, so I can't think of it like that.
But it's cliche to say it, but like it does change your. It's a season of life, man. Like, I don't know.
Is it more? Is it just the spotlight off yourself completely on this? You know what I mean? Like,
No. It's both. It's a mutual thing. It's like watching yourself grow up again.
because it's real this time.
Yeah, it's watching yourself grow up to a little bit. You're like, well, I don't want him to experience some of the things that I grew up with. You also, as a father, I saw parts of myself that were parts of my dad that I did not like. And I don't think they were amplified to the degree that I experienced them, but
You saw them
you see them come up and you're like, oh,
You choose to go the other way.
shit, I was not this person. I thought I wasn't, but it's there.
But
it's in your chemistry.
And it enables you to
DNA.
appreciate what your dad was going through at the time to deal with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not giving him like a break, but I mean, how you know.
Oh, I think you can totally give your parents a break.
Yeah. Maybe you should.
There's forgiveness is a part of gratitude, right? Like you, and I that's a concept I struggle with as well too. I was encouraged to do more ketamine-assisted psychotherapy. I did one session, and I think it scared the crap out of me a little bit in a good way. So yeah, I just like, to the guys out there that want to get into it. I think find a good mentor and be cautious of like the street corner shamans that are out there. They're just drug dealers with different names.
They're trying to make a buck off you, dude. Maybe it's something you should be doing. Yeah.
It's a very powerful thing, and there's a lot of options. There's ibogaine, ayahuasca.
Dude, that's kicking it up a notch, dude. I hear some people that talk about ibogaine. They're talking about they're fucked up for like 2-3 days, dude.
I've known guys that have had good and bad experience on just about all. I'm super curious about it.
When people do ibogaine, do they have to like travel to like a shaman?
It's not legal in the U.S. from what I understand.
Is that what it is? When I say ibogaine, is that the thing that's off the frog?
I think that's 5-MeO.
Yeah, you're right. It's weird how they're all in the same family though. Like,
there's a lot of good research out there. I think Texas is actually, there's a pretty cool, I actually don't know the name of it, but I follow like just kind of the conversation originating out of MAPS, the Multidisciplinary Association of Psychedelic Studies. I might be wrong on that. My wife has actually done some certifications in that. And the VA is starting to,
I know I've got calls.
I think, experiment with it.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So I know guys that take like a micro dose of ketamine daily. I've never tried that. I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
I also to go back to like the injuries and stuff. Like, I'm very conscious of if I lose my edge on something.
Yes.
I think
I think that with age, that's what we see a lot more, dude.
Yeah.
Start.
I did a lot of early stuff from a logistic and security and financial side for the cannabis industry. Never moved the plant. I definitely had consumed cannabis in my life. I met people that were like, cannabis saved my life. It got me off all these drugs, and I didn't have that experience. And I'm not advocating for or against it. It's not really for me.
If it helps you, it helps you.
Yeah, I can't be a habitual user of anything, right? I can't
either.
I can't drink to excess.
I know it's not good for me.
I definitely have had problems with substances in the past, and at this point in my life, I'm like, maybe a cocktail every once in a while, right? I have to go through long like bouts of
checklist.
sobriety.
Yeah. Can I do this right now?
I spend time around sober people to like learn
how to
interact, and like going to a concert with another dude that's sober. I recently did this with a buddy of mine, and I was like, well, this is weird. Like, it was Pepper. If you like remember that band from Hawaii,
of course,
I love that band. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm looking at him like, dude, this is like fucking baby making music. We're standing here like two fucking nerds, like, I'm like, whatever.
Completely
man.
sober.
Laughing at myself, like, I was still getting into the music, you know.
Yeah.
I can't.
I don't think I've ever been sober at a concert.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's
That's cool.
It's
You really appreciate the music.
different experiences.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm learning. I think it's important to me too, with a young son.
Yeah, of course.
Not to have him grow up seeing alcohol.
To set the right example, right?
Every family.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like you come from the East
I
Coast.
come from the same background, bro. It's always there.
It's a big part of every family gathering.
It becomes normal.
Yeah.
It becomes normal.
Yeah. So I was just back in Michigan and Detroit area, northern Michigan, and like, I'm like, damn, there's just a lot of like, everybody's here drinking a zillion fucking Budweiser.
Yeah, that becomes apparent when you live a separate life from that. You know what I mean? Like, it almost feels good, dude, because, dude, where I come from, everyone's an alcoholic, dude. It's bad, dude. Like, not that it's bad, but I mean, it's normal to drink every day. And
I wouldn't even call them alcoholics though. Like at the time, I was like, no, everybody drinks a lot. Like, it's just it's
one of those things you drink for dinner.
Yeah, it's fun. I definitely. I mean, I don't know. The other thing too, right? Like, so we talk about trauma and like a lot of the deaths and lost friends that I've experienced, alcohol was a factor.
Always.
In not the combat, but like the suicides, and like there was some kind of substance that was a common denominator. I'm not saying it's the cause, but it was there.
So you just brought it up, so I'm going to say it. This is my thought on this, and I'm also not saying it's the cause for all of them. I understand people go through different things. Everyone that I've known that has killed themselves to a certain degree has had a problem in one of those arenas, whether it's been something they haven't told their family about and they're so proud of themselves, it's killing them.
Yeah.
But it's always an amplifier, from what I've seen in my experience.
Shame, guilt, alcohol.
All those get amplified.
All kind of
Bad news.
Yeah.
When you get real with yourself when you're fucked up, dude, not a good combination.
Yeah. And alcohol is a depressant, so I mean, I don't the last time I drank quite a bit was probably a Marine Corps ball 2 years ago, and for a couple days I was not right. No dopamine in my body, just ugh. And I know why. I know why I feel that way, but
when you know why you feel that way, it's almost worse because you punish yourself a little bit more. You're like, I knew I was gonna feel like this, and
yeah. Anyway, I don't think I'll ever be 100% sober in my life. That's not something I strive for, but
I need to stop thinking that like that though. Because I exactly what you're saying right now is how I think, and I need to make it normal. That's what I tell myself at least. I need to make it just so it's I guess we'll have a beer. You know what I'm saying?
One way to do it, for me, was I did not drink frequently for years after the Marine Corps. There was times where I drank to excess for a year or so. I went through living in Vegas for the first time. I'd been to Vegas many times. I'd partied in Vegas, but I lived here. I was out trying to make moves for a business and meet people.
Had to be social.
So there was always a cocktail hour or something like that, mixers and blah blah blah, and then you get invited by people and you're like, hey, go to this nightclub, do this thing. And you're all right, cool, I'll check it out. I've never been there before, never seen it from this side. And after a while, I'm like, oh, that's a lot. I can't do that every day. And so I just was like, I'm not gonna drink anymore. And I went for maybe 6 months without a drink, and then you go out to dinner and have a couple glasses of wine. But every year when the ball came around, I'd probably drink half a bottle of whiskey at least.
Of course.
Maybe more. I don't
aggressively drink. I know I do. Yeah.
But it was important to me that I didn't poison myself to that volume anymore.
To the point of being sloppy.
So I stayed sober for about a year, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna do the social cocktails when the event presents itself.
Because if you can't do social cocktails, dude, you get looked at in a way. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real, dude.
I mean, I don't know. There's plenty of people that I'm like, you don't drink? Cool.
We can do that, dude, but I'm just saying, people that drink, you know what I'm saying? If you can't drink with me, dude,
there are people that are like that.
They judge you, dude, and I know you know who I'm talking about.
What they're really doing is judging themselves.
Facts.
It doesn't hurt my feelings.
Really what that is insecurity.
I mean, I do have buddies that would be like, nonsense, have a glass of whiskey.
Drink this beer.
And I still will. And I enjoy having a glass of whiskey with them. So it's...
No, but I hear you, dude. This stuff is never easy to talk about. It's taboo, once again, because not a lot of people talk about it.
We figured it out over time, right?
All Marines I know have a drinking problem.
I grew up in Mackey Hall, dude. If you had to have a drinking problem to live there, it was...
If you lived in the barracks, dude, I saw y'all. You know what I'm saying? You were naked, you were fucking making beer pong going on, I was there.
Kids that saved their money and
do you?
Ate at the chow hall. Yeah, a couple guys. And I don't know where they are today. I hope they're doing well.
I don't know them personally.
They were not my buddies, but I hope they're doing well.
That was one of the questions I was going to ask you because all I know you as is married. Did you experience the barracks as a young?
Yeah. So I was married out of SOI to my quote unquote high school sweetheart. Divorced after deployment 1. Actually, technically, I was divorced after deployment 2, but we were no longer living together, and then we started processing the paperwork.
Were you in the bricks, or were you still living out in town?
No, I lived in the barracks. I lived out in town for a little bit. I lived in the barracks from the workup in the halfway point of the workup to deployment 2. I want to say 1604, 1632 at Mackey Hall.
It's a light flex.
We moved around. 1-3, they'd be like 2-3's back. You got to move. We probably would move barracks rooms. That was the thing you looked forward to about being a corporal was you didn't have to move every day.
Yeah, exactly.
The poor fucking PFC. I never had to experience that because I was married.
So you always skip those working parties?
No, I had to stay and do field day.
Legendary working parties?
Yeah.
Biggest ones I've seen have been on deployment, loading the plane.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know that line of like the short guy has to go in the belly, load all the shit, dude? Or the youngest one here? Yeah.
You forget. I honestly, man, like, when
it comes to the
I
art
was
of
spoiled a little bit towards the end of my career, and I kind of forgot about some of that stuff. Like,
when it comes to the working party as an enlisted Marine, now if you're E3 or below, the art is avoiding them. So look busy.
bro, when we were this is funny because I
Recon never does working parties.
No, that's not true. So when we were on the boat, we were on the Macon Island, and we had like one corporal in our entire company.
Really?
And like you can't let that dude do every working party,
of course.
Because when you're a corporal on a boat, you ain't shit. You're a non-rate still,
of course.
right?
Of course.
I think E4s are non-rates on a boat, but I don't know.
Pretty sure.
But and I was a staff NCO, and we would take our blouses off and go do all the working parties
Really?
and boots and utes. Yeah, so that nobody knew what ranks we were. And so we'd have like gunnies and staff NCOs,
Gotcha.
and we'd be getting yelled at by like E4s in the Navy, while they, not all the Navy would do, but a lot of them would just like, so no, I'm supervising. And you're like, oh, okay, roger that, fucking scene, go fuck yourself. Like, what'd you say? I'm like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I said that. Like, do you want to have a talk about it with all of us? So we would get very used to like taking rank off and going and participating in these things and like having fun with it. And then, at the end of the working party, you'd go put your blouse back on,
and then you'd walk by, you're like,
yeah. So, but no, I don't fucking shy away from work, man. You gotta work. And when you're a self-sustaining platoon, I mean, we had one platoon on one boat and one platoon on another, and that was a company.
Gotcha.
And we had our support platoon type deal with our headquarters.
Okay.
So.
Well, I mean, I think we both come from the Marine Corps where blouses did get taken off for certain things, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
Did you guys go to the tree line when it needed to be done? You know
Dude, in boot camp, keep in mind, like I was incarcerated for a little bit before I went to the Marine Corps. And you had to fight for your position in life.
Facts.
To some degree. Sometimes you had to fight for your life. And
no exaggeration.
No, I got stabbed a couple times. Not seriously, like nothing. But
Been a few dust ups.
I got my chin and jaw kicked in a few times.
That's what it takes, man.
And like going to boot camp, it was still a culture of fighting. Like I got in trouble a couple times at boot camp for fighting, but I was also like an enforcer as a squad leader,
which becomes necessary in a certain degree.
And then that becomes kind of your personality as like.
And then that's all you are.
A senior lance corporal, which is, I get it, it's kind of dumb, but like.
That's how we lived, dude. That's how we grew up.
Back then, your senior lance corporals were Fallujah vets.
Yeah.
So you aspired to be that.
Got you. You do come from that ilk.
Korengal vets and Fallujah vets. So like you aspired to be that. So we got back from Haklaniyah Haditha. You were salty, kinda. You had a new car and your ribbons and whatnot. And then when I became that corporal, like you went through the period of like.
Well, talk to me about you as a corporal. Like, what was your stack? What had you done? Like, what year are you in?
I had been to Iraq twice. I was a machine gunner, and I'd seen combat on both of them.
How old are you? Iraq. How old are you?
Jeez, 22, 23, and 24 maybe. He was a corporal for like 3. I was also like, so I was technically an 0351, which was non-promotable. You were never in zone for promotion. It was always a closed out MOS, but I was an 0331 as my BMOS on paper. And I was in a platoon of machine gunners.
Gotcha.
So that was just the way they distributed weapons guys when we got to the fleet. And so I couldn't promote unless it was combat meritoriously or meritoriously.
Now, real quick, talk to me about shooting a machine gun. How are you accurate?
When the long axis of the target lines up with the long axis of the beating zone?
Yeah. Tell me some tips, man. I mean, you're a young machine gunner.
Oh, geez.
You were in before me. When you first had to ride that gun, what'd you do? What'd you implement? How were you successful?
Oh yeah, I had pretty stud seniors, dude. Like, I mean, one, just get behind the gun and throw some fucking muscle into it, dig your toes in, right? Like, 240 was what we lived by. We were a line platoon with Charlie Company. I learned all the heavy machine guns from cross training with Weapons Company. Mm-hmm. I think we had a couple in our armory, and then when we went to Iraq, reposition here. They were on the gun trucks.
Okay.
So you had to learn. You had to know them by the time you got there, right? Like, otherwise you weren't riding behind that gun.
Exactly.
But I remember riding behind the Mark and being like, this is dumb. Like, when am I going to get to shoot a fucking Mark in Haditha? Like, I'd rather have a 240.
That's almost like if you have a Mark like that, you're not going to be doing shit.
And my senior Marines were we had Fallujah vets and Korengal vets with us on that deployment. And so they were training us on what they experienced in Afghanistan to go to Iraq.
Are you a fan of the Mark, first off?
It's a good piece of gear if it's employed well and taken care of,
That's
and
true.
it works. Like if you have the right lubricant and
If you have what you need, and it's a good.
And you need to be able to go test fire it like all the
Often.
fucking time.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, oh, it's been sitting on my truck. It works because I function checked it. No, it might not.
So if you can implement it, it can be successful. Yeah.
There's better solutions out there now. Towards the end of my career, I got to like see some of them getting rolled out, and like, dude, would I rather have a minigun on the side of my truck with a 240 on a swing mount? Yeah. Like, why would I fucking want a Mark 19 anymore?
Slow, yeah.
I was a fan of a 203.
Of course.
As a
good
team
203,
leader,
yeah, of
and
course.
like I employed it a lot in different ways for marking, for all kinds of
Now,
things.
in a firefight, can you use that as a shock and awe? Draw them into the 203.
We would. I remember being in Marja at 5 points at Triknawa, so technically north of Marja, during the first days of Mashtarak, and being in a gunfight that lasted a day, and the principal direction of fire of the 50 cal was like next to us, right? So I knew where that was out at distance, but we were engaging people that were somewhere between 300 and 500 feet away,
Wow.
and I was expending as many 2 or 3 rounds I could to push them around a building where they would run into the PDF of the 50 cal, and they did, and it was awesome.
Perfect example.
Yeah. So and using that for mortars and like and marking and just having all the different. I was like a whore for what I would carry for ammo. I always had a magazine top loaded with tracers, right? Because that was an ADRAC. If you were the first guy to see something, you shot 15 tracers
And
at
you
it.
see where it is.
Everybody knew where you were,
Yeah.
and then you start to call out what it is, right? So. I was big on having redundancies in communication, right?
Okay.
You're not always going to be able to say something. People aren't always going to be able to hear you.
Comms always
Can't
fucked,
always
right?
see you.
Yeah,
Radios
yeah.
don't always work. I mean, I grew up in push-to-talk, inter-team comms, and
Gotcha.
Prick 148s.
Yep.
And then retired in 153 SATCOM and like all kinds of sexy shit like that,
SATCOM.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
It's a
it's
name drop.
yeah. So it's. I mean, I remember like towards the end of my career, I'm using a little one eye to see the sensors on planes that I'm flying overhead, and I'm like, this is cool. You know, I've got it coming into my tough book, and I'm like, this is different from what I came up with.
And now we're talking. We were talking about Anadrol the other day, dude. They're basically they have BFTs.
Yeah.
Is that a full mask?
That's cool. I mean, I don't know all the specs on it. I'm seeing this stuff come out. I'm very familiar with Androl.
What?
I have some very close friends
Yeah,
that have
yeah.
been there for a while, and what they're doing is cool.
Yeah.
But here's the other side of it, right? Like, we grew up in the GWAT dodging IEDs and gunfights, and now they fly to you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
Crazy.
like, I mean, you've seen, I actually, like, I kind of try to avoid all the Ukraine-Russia videos.
Why?
It's not that I won't watch them if somebody's like, yo, check this out. It's not something that I want to go doom scroll before I go to sleep.
Whenever, yeah, of course.
Because I'm not going to fucking
Yeah,
sleep.
exactly.
Dude.
Whenever
Like,
I watch it, I realize how washed up I am, dude. It's like, is it? I mean, well, first off, what do you think about the whole engagement? Because when I see trench warfare with modern day weapons, dude, I mean, and we're talking about flying 40 mics in the air that just.
Well, let me remind you of like any climb in any place, right? Like there's a period that a country, that the U.S., right, our finest fighting forces, which I believe to be as a conventional quote unquote, I think the Marine Corps is the best. I'm biased, but like I think the Victor units in the Marine Corps, supported by the MAGTF,
Absolutely.
are the best thing that can go forward.
We've seen it decimate. Yeah.
I'm not saying that there are SEALs that are better than Marines or CAG.
Not even what we're talking about,
It's
yeah.
not what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, right? Like, I'm saying the Marine Corps is a specialized group of fighters that comparable to the Ranger battalions,
Of course.
comparable to comparable to Ranger battalions,
Yeah.
right? And then
Yeah,
and some airborne units and some Army units are great, like, but the Army even gets different, right? The learning curve that happens when you go into a conflict. When we went into Afghanistan, like, we don't know what the fuck we were doing.
Yeah, you were the first boys over there.
And we were training on Vietnam tactics.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, if you went into Russia, I hope we don't. I don't want to see us enter that conflict.
Yeah.
I'm like morally opposed to it to some degree.
No, I agree.
Also, I just don't want my fucking kids to have to
Absolutely.
go to war.
Yeah.
I'm like, how many times did you think you're like, well, hopefully I'm doing this so that
Yeah, exactly.
future generations
Yeah.
don't have to do it.
That was an often thought.
Yeah.
So here we are. Here we are.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know, man.
You think it would actually get to that, dude? Because we're talking about a generation that is not similar to us, dude. Like, they've been softened, and I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep having this conversation with guys that are still in, and guys that know guys that are still in, and they're like, dude, they're as lethal as ever, and like you're tripping right now, and you're just being a washed up vet when you think about like them not the same as us. Or
No, I told you. I don't ever tell you the joke. This is the Marine Corps joke. I think I might have said it in the last podcast. If I didn't, or if I did, sorry. But Captain Samuel Nichols, right, first Marine Corps recruiter, sitting at Ton Tavern. Fucking guy walks in. He's like, "Hey, sit down. I want to tell you about something. We're gonna fight some fucking pirates. We're gonna go slay pussy all over the world. It's gonna be amazing. I'll buy you a beer if you join." Fucking guy's like, "Hey, sounds good. Sign me up, dude." Buys him a beer. Then the second guy walks in, right, after Captain Samuel Nichols, and this young, let's say PFC Smith is sitting there. Guy walks in and they're like, "Hey, come over here." And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Hey, man, we're gonna go fight some fucking pirates. We're gonna slay pussy all over the world. Come join up. I'll buy you a beer if you join." And Captain Samuel Nichols buys a round of beer for the first Marine and the second Marine. And then the first Marine leans over to the second Marine and goes, "When I joined, they bought us 2 beers." I didn't make that up. Somebody told me it. I can't remember who, but like that is the Marine Corps itself, right?
Yeah, it is.
So like, so saying that like they're fucking soft. No, they just have different problem sets, dude. And like my heart breaks for the dudes that want to go to the ultimate.
I know.
They want to step into the arena.
Big game.
And it's CACs and CAC. And it'll be like and
Or it's a Mew.
Yeah. But they're doing good things, and like
I had a young corporal in a line company recently on my podcast, and that's exactly what he said, dude. He's like, "Dude, I want to be. All I know is guys in the GWAT, and I strive to be that, and I can't."
Just like I wanted to be a Fallujah vet, and I wanted to be a Marks. I wanted to be all those things. Just like Rudy Reyes made me want to be a recon Marine on Generation Kill.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're always going to be boot to somebody, and I think that's both a beautiful concept and it holds everybody back to some degree.
It does.
So it's. I mean, I always embraced that. Like I enjoyed that concept.
Think about how you felt though when you knew you were going, dude. Like I think I talk about this sometimes.
I knew I was going when I joined. I was in the DEP program.
I'm talking when you get the warning order, dude. Like when you know, like you're gonna be in a dangerous area, dude. Like you know you're about to put on that varsity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think about that, and dude.
It's like your homecoming varsity football game times 1,000, right? Like, when
you gotta go to your boy and be like, "Dude, you ready?" You smack him, like make sure shit's good, dude. Like that, right? I'm not trying to gloat, and I'm not trying to fucking be
cool, but it wears off fast, right? Like I remember. I remember being in a named operation in Marja and doing a helo assault, and then like going through a tick for a day, and then I remember walking to the CP and seeing officers smoking cigars, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" They're like, "Look, made it through a lot today," and I'm like, "You didn't stick your fucking head over the wall. You're fucking joking and smoking over here. Like we're lucky we all made it through today. We got tomorrow, dog. Like, what are you doing? Like you don't have time to smoke. Like we don't have time for cigars right now.
Yeah, not the time.
This ain't 29 Palms, dog.
Facts.
I caught flack for that shit, but I was like, this is a big show, man, and this could go on for days or
this
months.
Ain't over. Yeah, exactly.
We don't know. And
you were always dismounted.
No, I my first deployment, I was a MAP platoon for. I don't know if I talked about this last one. So you remember the guy that threw the puppy off the cliff, and it was an international incident?
Yeah.
So I was in. He was my driver. I was not in the. I had got kicked out of the platoon before he threw that puppy off the cliff. So like my guardian angel.
Yeah.
Like I got in some trouble. I was the boot in the truck.
Such a light flex.
And these dickheads would park the truck and be like, "You're on." And I would sit up in the turret for probably 6 hours, 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like I'd go stand post on the bob. Like I'd just be like, "Damn, dude, I'm seeing fucking like hallucinating."
Yeah,
shit.
that's what happens when you stay on post for a while.
I was like, all right, so we would do that, and then this dude would fall asleep while he was driving, and a couple times outside of Haditha, we would like veer off the road and I'd fucking start kicking around from the turret. And
everyone's asleep.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
dude, I've been there.
They were, like, on the one hand, too, like, were they being negligent? Yes. Were they being complacent? Yes. I thought it was too early in the deployment. They were like, "Shut up, boot," you know?
We've all been there, dude. Like,
so I raised hell about it. Of course, I got kicked out of the platoon.
That's what you raised hell about?
Yeah. I raised hell about it. It's a longer story than that, and I think a lot of people would debate on how it went down. And quite frankly, like,
Still, that's what the main reason was.
I don't remember all the intricacies, but like by the grace of God and Chesty Puller, I got kicked out of that platoon right before that dude threw that puppy off that cliff, and they got disbanded. So I was like, damn, dodged a bullet. And then I went to 4th platoon, which was 0311s. And I ran point, and I got there and they're like, fuck you, you're running point. And I ran point day one. And then I became the guy that would go chase down dudes when we would, like I was the chase guy. So I'd run point, and then as soon as we'd have a run,
bounding first.
we would go like kick doors in and jump from roof to roof in the deep all day long. And so we'd kick a door in, dude would squirt out the back, I'd go chase that motherfucker down, and then we'd, puck them or whatever you called it back then. We caught a couple HVTs, HVIs that way. Okay, like tier 1, tier 2 Al-Qaeda guys that way. And we had fun, man. It was a good...
That's a dope feeling.
So I was at 0311 point man for the rest of that deployment. I carried a 240 on a couple patrols. We lived out in like a platoon-sized
You're an E4?
No, I was a Lance Corporal.
Oh, you're a Lance.
I was a Lance Corporal.
Salty Lance.
And then came back from that, and we went to Karma, and we would do mounted and dismounted patrols. We ran a standalone cop position. We actually ran 2. You
talking gun trucks? When you talking like M151s?
We had Humvees and 7 tons and M1151s, the up armored Humvees.
Yeah,
we had, in my first deployment, we had some that were not up armored.
Softbacks.
Yeah. I remember doing a medevac with one of my boys. I want to say it was fucking George Carlson, who, rest in peace, he died later, but I don't remember if it was George. No, I think it might have been. But going and picking up a guy, it was Corville. Anyway, I don't remember.
You still remember names like that?
So they come to me when I'm sitting here talking about it. I'm like, damn, I think it was Corville. But we went and snatched this dude up that caught a piece of shrapnel on his back from an IED. And I was in a high back Humvee with no top on it on a 240 on a swing mount, just ripping through fucking town like, all right, boys. Like, it was fucking wild. I didn't pull a trigger that
That's
day,
nuts.
Like, it was cool.
Did you appreciate it at the time?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you did? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did, because I saw guys that didn't get to experience
That's
that.
what I mean.
And like,
you knew
their soul was empty.
Yeah.
They just wanted to go do it so bad, and like I was like, man. And then I felt like I was kind of a shit magnet, which I kind of am a shit magnet in life. So it was weird, man. I got to do the things I wanted to do in the Marine Corps. I would have wanted to go and not that I didn't train to do it and I qualified to do all these things, but I wanted to go be like an assaulter in a CQB raid type hit. Which I did some CQB in combat, nothing like super sexy, but like grunt style house clearing, Fallujah tactics.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go do that as like a force team with a bunch of salty East
other people that understood it. Yeah.
Guys with 4, 5, 8 deployments
that you don't have to school. That just
when we did that in training, and you get it to a point where like you are a well orchestrated symphony, like moving through a hospital sized building.
So good.
It's super cool, and I wanted to go take that to the bad guys.
When were you doing that at the height of your career?
2011 to 2014, 15.
Moving as a unit, moving as a team element where everyone was clicking. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you call it green side and black side, right? So you do green side, which is your recce missions. You're sitting in the bush, collecting, running ISR, running aircraft, building target packages. There's a lot more to it.
Mapping shit out.
Yeah, all your insert, exfil tactics, all that stuff. And then your black side is your assaulter stuff. Now the reality of it is like, I don't want to discourage any young recon Marines, because I hope to God and I pray for them routinely that they get these missions. But like, we figured out somewhere along the way that your special mission units were the people we wanted to send forward to do those high level hits, right? We're not sending 1st Force Reconnaissance Platoon to go take down El Zawahiri. What was our coward, whatever. Like, you're sending CAG for that. Now, like, dudes in my platoon did some major named missions. I mean, there were some major named VBSS missions. Your maritime stuff that was done. Not quite Captain Phillips, like that, but that type of shit, right? So, the Magellan Star. If you go look up that mission, pretty cool. Not a single person was hurt. Took over an entire vessel. It was probably the cleanest VBSS mission in the history of the military.
Dope.
But like, it's not talked about.
Yeah, of course.
And I like that about recon.
Yeah, of course.
Only
a few people know about it. Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, I'm breaking the code a little bit, but it's not. Super secret shit.
Bro.
But like, people
You
need
see
to
the
go out and
podcasts
try
that are
things.
out right now, dude. Come on.
Oh, yeah,
You're
yeah,
worried
yeah.
about that?
No, I'm not worried about it. I just like
No, that's the elk we come from, though. Talking about it is taboo, dude. Like,
silent professionals, what you're taught.
yeah.
There's, I think
You know, you judge motherfuckers off that. I have.
I do, but I also think that there's a historical
Time and place.
component where
Yeah,
guys. I mean, if you ever to all your audience, like, go follow Frank Simmons, like stories that he posts.
Could you talk to me
his
about how you met
experience.
him, or like how,
Bro, Frank and I were in a platoon together. I didn't really know who he was until
you're a lance at this time?
no. I was a staff sergeant.
Okay.
Me and Frank were sergeants together.
Okay.
Frank and I pinned staff NCO on the same
Really?
day, but Frank probably at that point in his career should have been like an E8.
Okay.
And I tried to have Frank pin me staff sergeant after he got pinned staff sergeant, and they weren't having it. I don't want to speak to like why Frank was
whatever.
like he got in some trouble, but like he was and actually the whole team he was in was tactically proficient at the highest level. They planned and rehearsed and like they were to me. And I'm not saying we didn't do this as well too, but I think in terms of our platoon, we looked at them as the little phrase I'm trying to look for, like train until you can't get it wrong.
I get you.
Don't train until you get it right. Train until you can't get it wrong.
Of course.
I think they drove everybody to do that, and then that raised the standard for everybody else.
I think
Their
that's
team
what you're talking
leader,
about when you say silent professionals.
yeah, their team leaders over at a special mission unit now. Some of the dudes have gotten out, and some of the guys are at, I think, Border Patrol, different areas. They're all great guys. They were fucking, most of them were like physical studs.
For real?
Like I tried to keep up with those dudes, and like I was in the best shape of my life just trying to keep up with them, but I was not in as good a shape as they were.
Yep.
My one of my best buds, Tim Williams, was in my platoon, and he was also awarded the Silver Star while we were in the platoon. I remember like getting his uniform ready for him that day, and he was a hell of a team leader, dude. The guy had just he was on like a mobile train, or not mobile training team, like an individual augment type deal.
Yep.
Kind of like what Dakota Meyer did.
Yeah.
Out in Afghanistan.
You saw he got back in?
Yeah, he's a sergeant. I talked to him. I was like, dude, you couldn't negotiate another rocker with that?
I thought the same thing.
Yeah. Dakota's a good captain.
It was almost like he wanted it.
He was in 3-3 when I was out in 1-3.
Oh, you know? I didn't know you know.
I don't know. I don't like know him well. I wouldn't. That's not what we're playing. Like, we've talked a couple times.
Yeah.
He has my respect. I can't imagine what it's like to have that award.
Yeah.
It's like you got to become a senator overnight.
It's a fucking god to infantry Marines.
I don't.
Come on.
I'm gonna stop you, dude. I try and stay away from the God complex.
He's highly respected.
Yeah, and I'm not shitting on that.
Yeah,
I did that for a long time, dude. I worshipped fucking John Basilone. I still do.
You have to say
That's
John
different though,
Basilone.
right?
Yeah.
I still do. Like I'll
Everyone does, dude.
yeah, but
It's a
like,
name drop too.
like look at you can't like. I've been able to work with guys that were gods to me in that
I
side
hear you.
of
I
it.
hear you.
And it's not that they aren't men, but they don't want to be treated like that.
I get you.
And it's actually kind of bad for all of us
To I hear
to
you.
not recognize them as like imperfect creatures of God with their own flaws, right?
course.
Like it is what it is. That's a much more complex topic. Though.
Yeah, of course. You kind of have to be in to understand that.
But I don't like there's times where like I've been really close with guys that were awarded really high devices and medals, and like I didn't even read their citation for several years because I didn't want to know them as that, and I don't think they wanted me to know them as that.
You don't want to put them on that pedestal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I'm not taking anything away from anybody, but like the way the awards are done in the Marine Corps
Don't
is
get
so
me
fucking
going. Yeah, I know,
skewed.
dude. If you've ever been with someone that's got an award that he's talking about right now, you're just like kind of cringe.
Like there's four sides of the story, and then there's the truth type deal. Like, or if you're in a rifle squad, there's 12 sides of the story, and then the truth.
Facts.
Maybe the corpsman's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting, dude. I think
We hate calling the siren on our own, you know what I mean, when it comes to that, because I've seen it, you've seen it. Once again, call a spade, but anyways, we kind of got off there. I want to know a little bit more about you coming out of the Marine Corps and being able to be a successful person in society. And we got bent on successful for a little bit, but being a functional person in society to where you're running a business, how can you, to maybe some guys that are like getting out of the Marine Corps right now that are young entrepreneurs, what would you recommend for them, or how should they go about doing something to be functional or successful.
Well, prepare, right? Like part of it's preparation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I had to get a degree. I also like, I don't think an undergrad degree is this massive accomplishment. I don't think I'm better than anybody because I have that. But it was something I wanted to do, and it was something that I got, and I was able to kind of pursue fields of study and try things out.
Okay.
Right. So let me explain that. Right. And I had a very unique career in the Marine Corps that I don't think other people are going to get by virtue of stepping out of fucking ID.
Of course.
Right. Like I got some downtime, and then I got like some
time to position yourself.
Some hall passes, if you will, from the Marine Corps. Right. So I worked at DoorDash when it was a little hacker house in Costa Mesa. They had another group up in up by Stanford. The guys that founded it were from Stanford. It was early on. People had heard about it, but there was no commercials for it or anything then. And that was when I was finishing up my business degree. So I got to like experience startup life.
A boom.
Oh yeah, like I'm talking $20 million rounds,
Wow.
$1 billion valuations. Seeing how people behaved around that, working with like young talented people out of MBA and engineering programs, and like seeing probably some of the top tier like software engineers work alongside business types and finance types, and you start to see like, you don't understand it, but you're like, okay, there's a thing here, right? Like this works in a way. And I was obsessed with startup culture, dude. Like I wanted to go
Being able to repeat it or implement it on your own. Would you compare that to
I liked the idea of trying new shit, and like it was back when I think Zuckerberg was like move fast and break stuff. And
yeah.
And you realize that like there was these things, and it was, you take like this moonshot and the venture capital world, and I've become more disenchanted with that over time. But like back then I was a young Marine. I was still very young. I was like 7 to 10 years into my career, and I'm listening to like
hungry
podcasts and reading books, and like
I can implement this.
The motivator was the shit in the Marine Corps that wasn't efficient. The fact that I had to go to fucking S1 and have some dickhead be like, no, go get 6 more signatures over here, come back in 3 weeks, and like, oh, it's November, so we'll be back in February. Like, you're like, what the fuck? Like, we have computers and emails and all these things, and you still have to go to formation.
Yeah.
I do see the purpose of formation to some degree, but like, I'm like, people are like, this meeting could have been an email. I'm like, bitch, 7 hours of my day could have been a fucking email. Like that was my life, and I dealt with it every day, day in, day out. So I got bothered by that shit, and I became obsessed with efficiency. And where was efficiency occurring? Silicon Valley and Los Angeles, and so I worked at this place. It was cool. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, but it was a really interesting period, and it ran its course. Okay. I was like, it's not for me.
Gotcha.
And I left a lot of money on the table when I left that place. I had a really good opportunity where I could have walked out of the Marine Corps into a six-figure.
Did someone turn you off?
No. I mean, all people, but like there was nothing wrong with the place. I just knew that like efficiently delivering food to people wasn't my purpose.
Okay.
So like when you worked at DoorDash, this is a cool thing. I think the company still does it. No matter what position you were, I wasn't a dasher. I was in the ops management team. I could like kind of puppet master shit for a whole market. Okay. And I had to go out and like close new accounts, and like I did kind of every facet and that side of it. And I was delivering. I would go position myself in Orange County, kind of by Newport, and I would like deliver Ruth's Chris to like rich people.
Really?
And I was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I can't do this forever. This is a cool company. I like what they've built, but like, my purpose in life isn't to
deliver food to people.
It's not. It's doing a thing for people, but
I hate to think of it that way, but you got to think of it that way. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, I still have feelings like that today, and you know what I'm talking about. There's times where I'm like, oh, is this my purpose? Like, no, this is just the purpose of the next 5 minutes. Let's get through it, right? So I just knew that it was time to move on, and I pursued a career at Tesla. I worked at a couple other small startups that nobody would know, and I had a couple bad experiences, and I told the CEO to go fuck herself on a conference call one time because she was lying about shit, and walked away from it that way. I kind of regret how I behaved. Like, I think that I was bringing like Marine Corps knife hands to people, and I think they all looked at me like I was the psychopathic veteran in the room. And I don't think what I said left them with any feeling of merit. I think they were just like, that guy's crazy. Next, right? Like, so that was an experience I had that was kind of weird.
Is that being accountable? Do you see that people can't be truly accountable in that moment? You know what I'm saying? Because you're talking about being honest with yourself, right?
It was much more complex than that, but like, yeah, I think I'm being accountable. Like, I don't think I go back and I look at situations. I say, how could I have done better, regardless of all the other circumstances? And that was one that I could have handled better. But I learned something from it, so that's the important thing.
Yeah.
I met a really cool guy that ended up kind of coming in and teaching me a lot about marketing and sales. Him and I bumped heads a lot, but like he helped me start my company.
Dope.
Along with some other guys that were co-founders to me. So I say my in the sense of like, now I'm kind of the only person that worked for it, but I started it with 5 other Marines.
Okay.
Let me see.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so 5 other Marines. One of them went away fast. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
I have NDAs and stuff for that. Good lessons learned, and it's a hell of a story, but it's not for a podcast. You'll have to buy the book after I die.
Sounds like a perfect podcast.
Another one of them, him and I had fundamental disagreements about the direction of the business. I actually really liked the guy. He was a pretty decorated Marine captain, and like I don't remember. Do you have him on your podcast, Brian Buckley? He started Helmand Valley Growers Company.
Oh, I know that is.
Yeah, he's a good cat. So the disagreement we had was whether or not our business could touch the plant product. I had a disagreement about like how tax codes would work, and it's
high level of disagreement there.
In any sense, like we kind of broke. We're actually he's still a partner of the company, but we went our separate ways. He went to the cannabis side, did some really cool things over there, and then went out of the cannabis side to do other pretty cool things. And that's his story, not mine. But like him and I butting heads, I learned a lot from that relationship. And him and I are good friends. I mean, we're not like homies, like we don't like hang out, drink beers, but like from a professional standpoint, he definitely helped me kind of.
Are you able to keep friends like that, guys that you bump heads with? I mean, I think we're both at the age where we know.
I didn't bump head. I don't think it was necessarily personality. Well, there was a component of personality to it for sure, but like, I think if you bump heads and the result is that you arrive at a better solution, that's the point of bumping heads. I don't want to work with people that agree with me.
Exactly.
I don't want to be married to a woman that agrees with everything I say. Like
those are just yes men.
No, yeah, it doesn't work.
Or they're accepting a low standard.
But there's plenty of people at the company right now that if I was like, I think we should paint our faces purple and wear Hawaiian underwear on Fridays, they'd be like, great idea, that'll improve morale. Like, no, that's not a good idea. Like that's a test, but like it doesn't. I value people that will disagree with me,
thought,
and the discourse will
teach me something.
Restructure ideas into the point where they're going to work, right? So the murder board concept of the Marine Corps, right? Like, if you got a plan, put it through its paces.
It's all the shit that could happen.
So yeah, and then 3 of us really stayed on, did things that everybody's since kind of gone their own ways for it. I stayed around and did the thing, and I learned a ton from it, dude. Like I learned a ton from like that period of my life. Now, it was terrifying.
I was just gonna say.
And I had a thing. So the thing that when I medically retired out of the Marine Corps, like I knew if I played my cards right, like I could pay a mortgage and pay for a car, and then I had to work like 40 to 50 hours a week to put food on the table.
Yeah.
Right? Like so that was my baseline. I was like, check. I can do that. But now because I have that, I can go take risks.
Gotcha.
And if you're sitting out there and you're like, you know, you've got some disability, whatever percentage it is, like, if you can pay your car payment and pay for an apartment, and then you can go take risks with the rest of your time, do it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Like, and I listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, and I'm not citing that like it's religion, but like, it was implemented into my head where it was like, you're young, go fail a million times, right? Like, that's startup culture. So,
talk Silicon Valley, I mean, that's...
Did that, and got the job at Tesla. After 11 months of interviewing and going to fucking Fremont, California, and like looking at houses, and my wife was like, I don't think you want to work there. She was 100% right. I just at the time was like, what the fuck? Like, where's this coming from? She's like, I know you. And I'm like, yeah, you probably do know me better than I do.
Yeah.
And so we made a decision as a couple not to move up to Northern California, decline the job.
You think back at that at all?
I mean, I benchmarked that as in my life as a time where I left several millions of dollars on the table. just the simple math of the stock price and the equity package.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but also, no, I don't regret it. I got to start a company.
Oh, because it was at the beginning, you're saying.
The alternative was I went and started the company that we have now.
Gotcha.
Right, so like that was just a cool experience, and I did that for several months before I actually retired out of the Marine Corps.
Okay.
So I built some of the framework with the team we had in place, with our co-founders. We put a lot of relationships into place and did a lot of jobs while I was waiting to retire. Got my retirement package all done, that's a whole other fucking funny story. But I mean, I was like, I'll say it now because it's been a while, but like I was driving cannabis money in armored cars waiting for my retirement package, hoping I didn't get like robbed by somebody and have to get in a gunfight because it would fuck up the end of my career. I wasn't driving cannabis around, and it was legal funds, and we did everything right with like FinCEN and anti-money laundering, and we were getting them into banks.
Still doing it, yeah.
If my sergeant major knew what I was doing, they would have lost their minds.
That's funny.
So, and I mean, I appreciate the Marine Corps for giving me a skill bridge to my own company, which was cool. So
you're a fan of Skillbridge?
I mean, I wrote a skill bridge from my own LLC to myself.
Really?
Yeah. And I did one for some other people as well. I like legitimately. But yeah, Bobby came over on skill bridge through his retirement. Yeah, it's not the same as it was before. They've changed the program, from what I understand. I haven't been able to successfully execute one, nor have I tried for the last 2 or 3 years. But skill bridge, when I was well read into what it was a good program, and the last time I knew what it was during the pandemic. So it was.
Can you talk about what you know about Skillbridge for everyone that doesn't know what it is?
Yeah, I want to preface it with I'm not describing the Skillbridge program that it is now, and the opportunity, from what I understand, is not quite what it was before. You could effectively establish an internship with a company or nonprofit or something to that effect, and you're effectively your duty station was showing up to that place of work in a full-time status. The Marine Corps or the branch of service you were affiliated with would still pay you.
Oh, that's awesome.
But the company could not pay you.
You couldn't pull a paycheck from them. Okay.
The company could, I think you cover like expenses and stuff like that. Like you don't have to come out of pocket for stuff if you have to travel or whatever. But yeah, it allowed people somewhere like 90 days to like 6 months. I think as long as maybe 9 months of experience out of uniform in a workplace or on a job.
Okay.
And it was kind of a trial period for employers as well. And I think the way I kind of used it on internships was almost process of elimination. Like I did things that I learned that I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
My first internship was in politics, and I knew after 3 months that I'm like, I don't want to do this. I stuck around and did it for almost a year.
Really?
In a professional and a volunteer capacity, and a year and a half in total was like my full involvement with it. But yeah, I didn't want to. I did that. I changed my major to business. I went and did.
I figured that'd be right up your alley.
Maybe someday, but not like.
Still, you can talk. You're smart. You're quick, dude. Like that. I mean, if you can implement that as a politician and you know your shit as a Marine, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the business of politics in this country is not what I aspire to do.
That's true.
I mean,
that's true.
I have friends that are politicians. I have friends that have ran for office, and successfully and unsuccessfully. I don't like it. I don't like the.
At what point do you just? This may be ignorant for me to say, and you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. But at what point do you have to sell your soul as that man? And listen, when I say sell your soul, at what point do you have to drop what you believe in and completely take the administration's view on things? Because if you live in the time that I live in, which we both do, dude, you're seeing it right in front of us.
I mean, I'm not read into it at that level. I think people compromise their values in more ways than one. Not in and outside of politics. I don't think everybody does that. But like, I think, I think there's times where. I mean, you go back to being like, oh, you're a corporal now.
I hear you.
You're not a lance corporal anymore, right? Like, oh, you're a staff NCO.
Is that the same thing?
No, I'm just saying. I think it starts in things like that, right? I think it's very similar, where it's like, they say heavy is the crown.
Yeah, of course.
When you rise to that level.
Of course.
I think there's times in my career where like I've had to make decisions that I didn't like for the greater good. Where I was like, in my whole heart of hearts, I was like, fuck this person, like I'm ready to burn it out. But
this is what needs to be done.
I need to be an adult and keep it together, right? Like, and people are depending on how I'm going to act right now, so I need to make the right decision. I'm not giving credence to politicians in that manner.
No, but
and saying that they do that.
You're shedding a different light on it.
But I think it happens everywhere, right? Like the term company man is a thing, and it can be both introspective and come from outside, right?
From what I know, as a company man, is someone that just goes with brand all day. Just goes with every decision for the company.
I guess. Yeah. Or somebody that like compromises their values to do whatever they think the company needs, maybe. I don't know. I try not to compromise my values. I try to make my values align with the things that I want to accomplish. I've changed the things that are important to me over time. I've changed my outlook on social issues and fiscal issues and
well, to me, that shows you're considering it. At least you're thinking about it, man. I mean, what we see today is people that like blindly follow something. I don't even know what they're trying to accomplish, but like it's almost like to start an argument, just to start some kind of.
I remember when I was in classes in college that would cause discourse.
Oh, does that happen?
When it wasn't a lot of my college, but some classes were, right? Like you're not in calculus arguing about things, right? But like political science,
Did they allow it to like go back and forth?
Law classes, it was it was the purpose, and some of it was you'd have to like digitally debate, you'd have to defend business plans, things like that, pitch contests for startups.
Oh, cool!
Like when I would do things like that, I think there's some value in doing it, and I recognize that people are very different. Like I'm like, wow,
fundamentally different. Yeah,
they believe in completely different things than I believe. And at my core, like that's kind of one of the things that makes the country beautiful. Like,
I agree.
Great. It's hard. It's a hard thing to be like, everybody can do the things they want to do, and if you're over there and your things don't bother me about my things, and my things don't bother you about your things, then we'll all get along, right? Like this idea of perfect harmony is kind of utopian. I don't buy it.
I don't either.
I don't live in that world either. Like, by the nature of my occupation, like I deal with people on some of their worst days. I see some gnarly things out here, and same thing with the Marine Corps. Like you just go see like some of the worst parts of humanity, and you're like, huh.
But I think that allows you to question things in a healthy way.
Yeah, if like, you want to talk about women's rights, like they're putting 13 or something women in a cage and setting them on fire.
Seriously.
I don't know if that happened because I didn't dial into it. I know it has happened. Like I know it has happened. I've seen a woman get rocks thrown at her until she died. Yeah. Right? Like, so things like that where I'm like, what's the political football going to be today, right? Yeah. And it's contradictory, and it's confusing, but I don't want to be like a political scholar. I want to focus on things that I can control. I need to pay attention to the laws that concern the business that I work with, and that means like the laws like as they're being written through the legislative process, as they become bills and get codified and things like that. That's something I pay attention to.
I want your opinion on this. I asked you this a while ago. We were talking. We were having a little bit of a back and forth, and I don't know if you called me foolish or you said something to me about because I thought if we put a bunch of military guys together, you could get a good product out of it when it comes to labor, when it comes to doing security or something like that. And you said like the thought of me thinking that everyone would want to do that or that could even be done is just stupid. But to me, the way
I don't think I use those words.
No. In a way.
I mean, I maybe said something roundabout, but it's not. It's. So my concept when I first went into this was like, all right, I want to staff it with like all former military and law enforcement. Like it'd be like 100%, and then it occurred to me that like 1% of the population, on or about, right? I'm not saying it's exactly 1%. Don't quote me on that, but somewhere around 1% has served in military or law enforcement or first responder, right? So to try and draw from 1% of the population, and that's your addressable market as a recruiting pool. To scale a business at that
doesn't make sense.
I don't find it possible anymore. I also think that like when you get a bunch of former 03, 31s and 11s together, it's not always productive.
Other things happen,
Yeah, like the number of times I've walked into the office, I'm like, stop telling fucking war stories, get back to work. right? Like also the number of times where I've caught myself in a thing where I'm like, oh shit, we just talked about
Yeah, it's not good for you either, right? Yeah.
There's times for it, but there's times to focus on what the task.
I was more so. I was talking about politics. I was thinking about having a leader elevate from that.
From the military?
Yeah, from that aspect.
We've had that.
Have we?
Multiple times.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, I guess we have in a certain degree.
From the military?
When I just
like
think of a
John
good
F. Kennedy, like look at that, right? He was.
And was he not spot on with a lot of things? I mean,
I don't know. I wasn't alive in the '60s, and somebody shot him. I think he was liked by people. I mean, I think Reagan was liked by people for some things and hated for other things.
Yeah.
I think.
George
Bush was in the military, both, and his dad ran the CIA. Remember that?
True.
There is a history of military service in politics at the highest level, and there are politicians out there
that are military as well.
My fellow one-eyed buddy. I don't know, not my buddy, but I just because we both have one eye.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't prefer him. I don't have I'm not a constituent, so it doesn't really matter.
I don't mind what he talks about sometimes.
There of course there's things that I agree with.
Yeah.
But there's things that I don't agree with, but I'm also not examining the guy like he should live up to my standards.
Yeah.
He has his constituents, and if they reelect him, that's the acid test of did you do a good
pen
job?
test, yeah, exactly.
Good enough.
Yep.
I guess to get reelected.
We also have Eli. That other SEAL.
There's tons. I rep Tammy Duckworth. She's pretty. She was a helicopter pilot, lost her legs. I met her early on. Tulsi Gabbard, early on. That's right. Yeah, you said that too. A lot of people that when I was in Hawaii, Dan Inouye, if you know who Dan Inouye is, was a senator. He was a Medal of Honor recipient. So there of course that culture's there, and I think it's an important component of it. But I don't believe that military service is a preamble to you being a success. Well, preamble's not the right word, but a precursor
to you just being a
definitively a causal precursor to you being a successful politician.
Agreed.
I
can agree with that. Yeah. I just always, I don't know. I always try to think of all the things I think about as bad in the world we live in today, and I game plan as we do how to fix it, if you will, and. When's the last time you got the feeling in your chest that we were being led by someone like a good leader? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you name names, but I haven't felt that way in a while.
I have good things to say about Governor Lombardo instead of Meta, right? Also a veteran, also a law enforcement veteran for many years. I've met Governor Lombardo prior to him being elected on several occasions and spent some time with him, and I think he's doing a very tough thing. And I didn't sit there when you talk with politicians, you're like, this is what I want you to accomplish, right?
Black and white. Yeah.
No, that's not what I say. I say I hope that you're able to do the things that you want to do, and I hope your relationships that are important to you survive that gauntlet, because your family's getting put through the ringer.
Absolutely.
We
don't even think about that. Yeah.
No,
right.
And you're a human. You're gonna make mistakes, right? And I'm not condoning a lot of the mistakes we've seen from politicians. I feel like there's the concept of presidential has been a thing that I'm it's being rewritten today, and I struggle with that.
Yeah, right.
But it was rewritten. I grew up during the Clinton era too, right? Monica Lewinsky in the Oval Office, not exactly presidential. Neither was what Kennedy was allegedly doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, but
is that just the world we live in, that we're getting information and we're finding out about this, or but?
No, I think the old adage of absolute power corrupts absolutely.
No,
you're going to run into some challenges and make some mistakes.
Well, be real. Look at this from from an outside point of view. How do we look at what's going on in today and stay positive? Is it just find a silver lining in everything and find a way to push towards, or is it doing your own research and finding out what's really going on?
Well, I think it goes back to the sense of purpose, right? I at one point wanted the concept of changing the world for the better was very important to me. I think when we learned about the strategic corporal and the decisions you made as a young Marine could have a impact on how the war went one direction or another. I think that stuck with me a lot, and I wanted to continue to make, I don't say decisions of that magnitude, but I wanted to continue to be influential and expand my sphere of influence to be able to have a positive effect on the world, whether that was through military service or volunteer service or working at tech startups or solving complex problems. I like that. It drives me. I like when I had kids, I was like, oh, this is my problem I have to solve. It's not like all those other things are like bonus points.
Yeah.
But like I have to solve this. And it's not that the kid's a problem. It's that like,
how do I make this easier?
They have to face the world, right? And you have to give them the tools to go out and the love and like all the things. I should say love first. If I'm being honest, like
is love a new concept for us, though, dude?
I mean, it's tough, dude. It's tough.
I know.
It's tough.
You know, because it's not something we're given as Marines. You know, like
I feel like I am given so much love in this world, and I feel like I failed to give it back oftentimes.
Ooh, that's deep.
I feel very inadequate.
That's
with that.
deep. Not able to give it back because are you not able to because you haven't received it? You know what I mean? Like, or is it just because you're not appreciating what you're getting? I don't think it's that. But
well, I'd say first it's just like bandwidth. Like
Okay.
I look at you display love in many ways.
Yeah.
There's the 7 love languages of relationship, like, but how you spread your attention around. I think the first part, I would love to spend every waking moment with my children.
Of course.
Like, homeschool. I don't know homeschool, but like
I think
like
a lot
to
of people are thinking that way now.
hang out with them and like run around with, like just
experience
do all those
growing
things,
up with
right?
them. Yeah.
But like I also feel compelled to mentor other veterans and other people that are in the industry I'm in, and then like I think I don't it's not that I don't feel capable of feeling love. I just don't I don't feel like I experience it the same way as given like the trauma components that I've experienced.
I know I've had trouble doing it, dude.
Like all that. It's
yeah,
it's hard. I mean,
it's new. It's new to a certain degree, dude. Like I mean, I don't feel like your love is something that. Listen, not to sound corny right now, but I mean, guys talking about love in general is taboo. You know, we're supposed to be these tough individuals that never are emotional or expressive. But
I mean, it's phony to not be.
It is.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's not like I cry in rom-coms sometimes.
Yep.
I don't have a problem saying that. I won't cry when I'm supposed to sometimes, and then I do at that, and I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with me? And I'm like, oh.
See, we're awkward about it, dude.
My whole brain's been fucking poisoned and rewired by like shooting machine guns and dumb shit and like and
trying to be the toughest guy all the time.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit into the equation where it makes sense. But like when you get a glimpse of it and you can experience it, and my kids changed that for me. Like just like putting my daughter to bed. Breaks melts me, right? Like that's like a drug, dude.
I'm sure it is, dude.
That is like the most psychedelic.
Only we could understand that. Yeah, I get it.
And I'll tell you that like I remember when my son was born, like there was moments where I experienced it, and there was moments where I was like wanted to bang my head against the wall because I wasn't feeling what I felt like I was supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
And I would go ask therapists about it. Like I don't think a lot of them could explain it to me.
Because they hadn't gone through it, probably.
I don't know. Maybe, but like maybe it just
that's probably what it is, dude.
Maybe it's more complex than that. Maybe, as I've mentioned, like you can't explain calculus with algebra.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, and maybe that's a thing, and it's maybe not a concept that
I've had a trouble finding a therapist because I've always been trying to put them in a box of what I've done so they could understand me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You talked about that a little bit, and maybe maybe that's a something that we need to not think of. Maybe they don't need to be you.
Well, you got to be persistent. So, like, one, I would start with like the free therapy that's out there. Right, I'm at a point where like I do a combination of like I pay for some therapy out of pocket, and I also
go and find
something out there, and I don't know exactly how many, but like I've probably been through somewhere around 16 different providers. Sometimes they were a great provider and they moved or they got reassigned.
I'm laughing because I've done the same thing.
PCS. I walked in one time and met with a lady, and I said, hey, I've been doing therapy for a while. I'm gonna give you about a 20-minute summary of what I've done and my experience and kind of what I've been working on and what I want to work on. And she was crying like 20 minutes into it, and I was like,
how's that supposed to make you feel, dude? You're making the person that's supposed to be helping you cry.
I'm married to a therapist though, so I was talking to her and I was like, hey, I was referred here because you guys have experience with combat veterans, traumatic brain injuries, and post-traumatic stress. She's like, I do have experience with post-traumatic stress. I was like, but none of the other things I mentioned? And she's like, no. And I was like, okay, well, what I had to do was be like, she's probably a great therapist for somebody.
Yeah.
But like, it's not the right tool for me right now.
And that's okay.
Yeah, and I could have maybe walked into that office 6 months or 3 years down the road or something like that, and it was the right tool. But it's a tool, right? Like,
I think we're growing too, dude. The whole veteran experience, it's not talked about enough because it's a trippy thing, dude. It's not normal. There's not a lot of people that go through it, and only us can understand it. And it's coming from traumatic environments, getting fit in a box to what is perceived as normal, and then exactly what you're saying right now, trying to find someone that you're comfortable talking to offload some of their stuff to. So you can see that they understand it, and they give you actionable items for you to do to better yourself in a way.
Well, and maybe, and I'm not saying this is a solution, but maybe in 5 years from now, when our the Marines are going to deploy to fucking outer space and they come back they fought space monsters forever, maybe they get a ketamine hit and they go right and they're fine. I'm not saying that's the solution, right? Like I don't believe that there's a panacea or like a magic bullet thing like that. But like I hope that the outcome of all of the things that the Global War on Terror veterans have tried, some of them have succeeded, some of them have not. But I hope that the outcome in aggregate is studied, and it improves the durability of the warfighter.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Right? Like I think that's going to be the outcome. And actually, like I think the durability of the warfighter in the last 20 years has improved exponentially.
I hope so.
I think it has. I don't think it's being tested yet, but I don't think you can debate it, right? Like there's a really good white paper called Operator Syndrome out there that talks about some of the combined effects of repeat deployments, combat, some of the special operations,
everything that goes with it,
traumatic brain injuries, blast impact, all the different things, right? Just prolonged like trauma, and there's a combination of like the death by 1,000 paper cuts. And the like big moments where you're like, that sucked, but I don't want to tell you about these paper cuts. So I do think the durability of the warfighter is improving, and you start to mix that with like.
Do you think it's comfortable? It's becoming comfortable being uncomfortable, like just with the things we're not used to expressing, and I mean we talked about
component,
love.
Yeah,
we talked about.
I mean, I hope that was a big step for you. Like, I hope it was a big step for you. It's like it's weird, dude. It's not. I mean, when it breaks down, like. When you can actually talk to it. I mean, I just lost my dad, right? So like, it's not a topic I want to spend a lot of time because I'm still processing that, right? Yeah. And it's not that I'm gonna compartmentalize. There was a moment where I compartmentalized it. I went back to work for a week because I had shit I had to do.
You put your mind somewhere else.
And I talked to you. I was on a detail. I was working. Like, And I didn't tell the people I was on a detail with, but I had to get it done. And it was a good distraction for me, and I was used to it. It was a familiar feeling to be like, fuck, this life-changing thing just happened. And I'm gonna need to process this. It's gonna take me a long time to process, and I'm never gonna do things I wanted to do. Right? Like that hurt a lot. And then going back home and going through the funeral side of it, and like
it's all on your face.
The embrace and like crying in front of hundreds of people as I gave a eulogy, and making like sitting there and writing it. And like I want to say some important things. That was an important component to it, but like, how can I deny that I feel and I'm hurt by things, and like the vulnerability side of it? Yeah, I think that's an important thing. Like, I still think you can be a warfighter and be vulnerable.
I agree.
Right, and it's very evident when you stick your head up too fucking high or you run too slow. Right, or you step on an ID, right? Like I did. Like you're vulnerable. We're human. I felt like Superman. Even after that, I felt like I was invincible for a period of time.
Of course.
And then I was like, oh.
This is what I need to learn here.
I'm not invincible anymore. Like,
it sucks, but I mean, it's something you need to pull away from that. And you're right. I mean, I don't think any of this is easy, and I think it all ties into, I brought up the veteran experience or the veteran condition earlier. I mean, it's something that we go through as we elevate and as we get older, and I think it needs to be talked about more. I think these hard conversations right now need to happen more, and more guys need to open up, and maybe they can use it somehow, as you said about the VA utilizing it and hopefully implementing it and learning from it. I mean, that's
I hope so.
At the very least, hopefully that's what we can get out of it.
Look, different folks, different strokes. Like I watched my father-in-law. I didn't know him when he got out of Vietnam, right? Like, but I knew him growing up as a kid, and I watched him. He came back and I wasn't alive when he came back from Vietnam, but like he came back from Vietnam, never talked to the VA, went to go work for Ford, worked in a plant, retired, stayed as a consultant, retired, and like didn't go to a therapy appointment until he was diagnosed with cancer from Agent Orange.
Oh, so he buried that shit, yeah.
But like watching him go through that experience, the cancer was the terrible part. The emotional growth and like him breaking things out and like talking.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like, that was a pretty powerful thing where it's like, and it wasn't that, it was that they were conditioned to put it away. The World War II veterans that they looked up to were like, go the fuck to work.
Yeah,
you had shell shock.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes. Get back to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not everybody made it through that. Some people ended up in, you know, whatever the system of mental health was. And our system of mental health is still flawed.
Yeah, of course.
It's still an art and a science.
Yeah.
Right? I love like the fact that I'm married to somebody that goes
That
out
must
and
help
like helps
significantly,
veterans.
dude, yeah.
It either helps or hurts because sometimes you're just like you don't realize you're sitting in her chair, right? You're like, oh, you're fucking psychoanalyzing me right now. Like, what the fuck? She can't help it, you know. But like,
She must get off on that, dude, because you're a psycho.
I don't think she is. I did have a joke that like 15. So we're celebrating 15 years of marriage this
Congrats.
year, and I had a joke. Thank you. That was like, hey, we're gonna get to 20, and she's gonna write her PhD dissertation on me and then divorce me. And if that's how it goes, I'm okay with that. Like, I'll take that 20-year
I'll be your
experience.
gerbil. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay. Like, cool. You know.
I don't know if you've ever done any of these things that the VA has asked. Like, have you gotten the calls from the VA asking you to come in to deal with a PTSD study or a TBI study? I've done a few of them, dude.
So I did it. I didn't have a. I did it before I even got out of the Marine Corps. So I had to start doing TBI studies when I was exposed to a prominent blast injury that was not open, right?
yeah, okay.
My skull was fractured open.
Gotcha.
They knew I was exposed to a blast injury, but they triage you. So they were focused on my eye.
Yeah,
They didn't know that I had like issues with the discs in my lower back. They didn't know that my knees were messed up.
Mm-hmm.
They reconstructed my elbow because that was part of triage. So like I had to be persistent and be like, hey, I need to get more checks for my TBI stuff.
Because if you're not, dude, that just falls to the wayside. It really sits on you.
You have to be on, like, once you get the tools, if you're not going to use them, what the fuck are you going to the doctor for anymore?
Exactly.
Like, if you're going to go and learn about sleep hygiene, but you're going to stay up all night and you're going to drink and you're going to do all these things, like,
what are we really doing here?
and you're going to take your phone and fucking doom scroll, which, look, I'm guilty of all those things,
We all are,
right?
yeah.
So, if you're not going to do those things and then you're like, who's the VA? Well,
Dude, you just hit the nail on the head right there, dude.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do that, man.
well, and look, there's been times where I want to shake the shit out
I've
of
done it.
somebody.
I know I've done it. That's
Me
why I know
too.
a lot of people do it.
Me
Dude.
too. Yeah, I'm accountable for it.
You know?
I feel bad when I don't do it, and but I'm human, right? Like,
Yeah.
I had to get over that, like, striving to be some perfect thing that, like, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna fail, and I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna fail, and I'm gonna get up. That type of thing.
My last thing that I want to ask you, dude, because it's something that I tripped about recently, and I really went down to a deep rabbit hole on this, and it has to do with. We're briefly talking about PTSD, TBI right now. We're not really, going into our individual experiences, but I think we all know what it revolves around. I dove into the pharmaceutical industry recently and how what's keeping it afloat, what's making a lot of money, and I also thought about the time that when I came back from my deployments and I was pushed towards the VA. Because at that time it was, you're dealing with some shit, dude. Go talk to a doctor, go to the VA, they'll take care of you. It was pushed heavily on me. And I did. I went through every little rung of it. And, was PTSD pushed on us? Is it normal to fucking have adverse reactions to, fucking firefights all day? Your boy's dying? You're gonna get sad from that? That's fucking normal, dude. You're a human being. You have emotions, dude. You react from things.
Yeah.
Are we all fucked up forever now because we have PTSD because we're reacting to that? How a normal human would react to that? You know what I'm saying? That's what I was getting
I mean,
at.
you gotta unpack some of it, right? Like, so we talked about earlier, like, establishing what is normal. Is it normal to have a trauma response?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's science, how it works, right? And any creature has that to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
A possum plays dead in the middle of the road, right? Like, we have our things. And human beings, I believe, I don't know the science, but they vary in their durability and resiliency and all those things. And the way I summarize that is everybody has a different threshold. I talked about being. You asked me how I was as a corporal, and I wanted to get to a thing that somebody told me that matters to me a lot. It's Sergeant Major Sean Greenleaf. He told me, like, if you live life at your 10, if you have a scale of 1 to 10, and your reactions to everything is a 10, you have nowhere to go from there. Right? So, like, if every time one of your guys forgets a piece of gear or fucks something up, you go straight to your 10, you have nowhere to go from there.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to have different tools. So that talks a little bit about, like, my propensity as a leader to, like, demonstrate aggression and violence on things, right? Like, my threshold or capacity for that. And then when I was in Wounded Warrior, it was 2010, and I had guys from 2-3, I had guys from 3, I want to say 3-3 Stay Platoon or Sniper Platoon. And then I had guys that like maybe there were people that had cancer that were in there. There were people that had military sexual trauma. I actually didn't know. Like, you don't know what a lot of people are in there for, but as a grunt, you're like, why the fuck are these people here?
Yeah.
And that's where, like I say, like everybody has a different threshold, right? Like some people were traumatized by boot camp and it broke them. And some of us it broke for the better. Some of it never broke, whatever. And breaking is a very broad term, but like it changed them to the point where like they didn't function the way they wanted to function. They were no longer functional, right? Mm-hmm. It's not for me to judge that person.
That's the threshold we're talking about.
They weren't the type of people that I preferred to be around.
You're talking about how we have a propensity. I've done it. I know I've done it personally. Why the fuck are you here, dude? Like, you didn't do shit overseas.
Yeah.
You didn't get hit by a fucking IED. You didn't get shot. You haven't been in a firefight. What are you doing here? I've done that.
I sit in interviews with our human resources manager, and nobody knows my resume, or at least they didn't Google it before they came to the interview, right? And I hear him say stuff, and I'm like,
What are we talking about here?
Sometimes I'll be like, that doesn't add up. Can you like answer that for me? And I was like, because I think you maybe meant something different, but you said that, and it gives them an out to it, and sometimes they self-correct. There's a lot of different things you're gonna run into and like that. And I used to make me mad, and now it doesn't make me mad.
Is that on us to get over that, to grow from that?
Why get mad about it?
Yeah.
If somebody's out there like benefiting from it, like I've ran into people that were literally lying about their resume and like competing with me in an industry, and I've confronted them about it. Like I was just like, hey man, like
did you feel better? Or afterwards, we were like, why did I even do that? You know.
Part of me was like, man, I should have just taken the high road and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Let the thing go on. Let never like some.
Don't even put it out there.
It's Machiavellian, but it's like somebody said,
I hear you.
Never, or maybe it was I don't know, whoever said
Freud.
it. They said, don't concern yourself with interrupting people who are busy destroying themselves.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right? Like that's
why get in their way? Yeah.
But I was like, part of me is like,
because you want them to be humble for a minute. You want them to be like, this is what you're fucking doing, asshole, dude. It's wrong. And maybe that's wrong. Who are we to do that?
It's an egotistical thing, right? That's true. I tried, but now I'm just like, why do I give a fuck?
Yeah, that's true.
I come across people where I'm like, I don't
because it was hammered down our throats for fucking.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We were conditioned to be a certain way, and you were conditioned to have a trauma response, and you were conditioned to have an expectation that if your trauma response was anything other than like picking your gun back up and charging forward, that it was a failure.
So true. So true.
And that worked when it needed to work. Mm-hmm. In a combat environment, right?
Yeah,
now we're in a different environment, and it's not what we thought it was going to be.
It's not,
right? Like nobody had this on their quote unquote bingo card for 2025, right?
Yeah.
So I try and like meet the world where it's at. I would like to influence some things that I have a realistic expectation to influence for the better, and build some things that are better, and solve some problems that I can.
I think you like solving problems, dude. I think you like.
It's my purpose, man.
Yeah,
it's my purpose.
Something that I really thought that didn't get put in the limelight enough about like where we come from is guys that could that were given nothing and could make this fucking great thing from it. Like as Marines, dude, we get the shittiest stuff, dude. Often you don't have what you need to fix the truck. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if I get a little duct tape and I get this little thing right here, I can fucking.
Our value resourcefulness, tremendously, right? Like,
yeah.
I was told one time, and I think this holds true to like managers need to care about results, and it's not that you don't care about the process, but the process has to produce the desired results, and like all up until the way, like people are considered like part of the process, right? But like you have to be responsible for results. And I was also beaten to my head that like as a team leader, I'm responsible for everything my team does and fails to do.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
Like it doesn't matter if I was my fault or if it's all my fault.
I think that's what makes the leader right there. If you're able to think of it in that way.
That's hard.
You're taking yourself out of the completely, and it's all my guys.
Well, it becomes I try not to be emotional about things.
Yeah.
You know, and I may be somewhere on the spectrum, but that maybe helps me to deal with some of these things.
But see, when we try to, it's weird how you have to take your emotions out of some things, but other things you need to know how to love. You need to know how to have emotions. You know, it's that healthy balance that we must practice as human beings.
Well, I mean, you spend your entire life trying to achieve that balance. It's the journey, right?
Well put.
Like a smart guy told me one time, like, enjoy the ride. It's the journey, not the destination. And like, and I mean,
I don't think we think of it as that way enough.
you will, because you're getting to the season of your life where like you're gonna be going to more funerals than you are to weddings.
You told me that recently.
Like
yeah.
So you start to like reflect on things, and like I try not to look back in the past too much. Like I really try not.
Whenever I do look at the past, dude, tears come to the eyes, dude. I get emotional.
What part of the past though? I mean, what
it's already done. Why dwell?
Well, I mean, look, you try and take the good with the bad, and like remember the good things, and I think you try and just one foot in front of the other too.
I think I realized recently I live in the past way too much, and I need to live in the present a lot more than now. What's happening?
Nobody cares about fucking Haditha.
The pre-deceived things that we could care. Yeah,
there's some dudes in a barracks room that are like, that's cool. And I love you guys. Yeah. I fucking love you guys. But like I'm here to tell you that like nobody's gonna give a fuck about the deployment you went on 20 years from now. like you may meet some people like, hey, tell me some war stories. You're like, all right, I'm really not supposed to tell you guys about this shit, but you seem pretty cool, so come on in, right? Like it's not.
I hear you.
It's not that it doesn't matter. It's just that it's not.
It doesn't.
Like,
it doesn't matter.
You can't walk through life with a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah, I know.
Like, thank me for my service. Like, it's
I
so counterintuitive.
Very
to
true.
go serve people and then be mad at them because they're not appreciative.
Doesn't make any sense.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
It's a fucking.
It's yeah. I hear you.
So it's interesting, man. I try to just enjoy the shit. It's sitting and talking about it, like you put things into words.
To sound cool.
I've been going to a group merging vets and players, and one of the guys there, a Green Beret dude. I'm not gonna out the guy, but he is a stern believer in journaling. He's like journal.
Never tried
that. I've written.
Do you have time to read your own shit though?
It's not necessarily that. I've written things down for a long time. I keep notes, meticulous notes for work because I have to, right? I have a brain injury. I have to like be performance enhanced by notes. Of course. And I write occasional things. So I recently I bought a brand new journal, and I'm only probably a few pages into it, and I was like, what am I going to journal about? And I think when you think of a journal, you're like, dear diary, today this made me mad. I didn't. What I did was I drew out a family tree. For some reason, that's what told me to start there. I drew out a family tree, and I started to think about like all the bonds and those relationships and where they'd been broken over time or like strained over time. And then I wrote out the eulogy that I was writing out in it. It was just it was happenstance. I bought the journal before I had to do that. I was like, man, this is like opening page of my journal, and I started writing in it and like getting it out on paper. It just organized some of the thoughts. It like took all this shit that's jumbled around in my head compressed into like different corners of my soul and my brain and all this stuff, and it was like, okay, open that up. Where's it at?
I put it down now.
It's there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's out. I don't know if I'm ready to like go read it to people. And in the event of the eulogy, I went out like literally read it to 200 people ish. So it was. I mean, it was interesting. Like,
I think what you're saying is that you don't have to write something preconceived. It doesn't have to be something perfect. You know, it could just be a clutter that you're tripping about in your head, and you just need to get it out on paper. You know, it doesn't have to be a certain way. You know,
it might be the story of your life, dude. Some people do it in their fucking Instagram posts. Not really my jam. Not really my jam. Sometimes I'm like, did you read that before you clicked publish on it? Like,
you do it to me all the time.
Yeah, I see. I was a football coach for my kids' football team. I see parents do it in the group chat for their kid. I'm like, what the fuck? Like this is real life, not the comment section, guys.
That's what a lot of people are having trouble with, man. And the time frame that we're at is Instagram and social media and real life, and we talk about it haphazardly a lot of times, but we're living it right now, dude. Like Instagram is like the thing that was thrown upon us that they didn't really know what it was going to do, or social media in general, and we're just over here going as we please with it, and I think it's changing a lot of people, dude.
I think it's definitely changing a lot of
Some people I only get, like, you know how we're talking right now? They only talk to me like that via text. In person, like, they can't do it at all.
I mean, look, man, you probably have days like this. I have days where I don't want to leave my house.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm just like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, if I have to talk to anybody today.
Yeah,
it's not a lot.
Fuck my life, yeah.
It's not a lot, but, like, there's just days where I'm like,
I think we all have days like that,
I want to avoid.
Yeah.
Everybody does that.
Yeah.
I think people embrace that over time, and they build this virtual interaction.
Oh yeah, I hear what you're saying.
And the virtual interaction is an environment they become more comfortable in. I, for one, like I want the human interaction. I'm afraid to get off of social media.
I'm afraid to lose it.
And lose contact with people.
Oh yeah.
And like I don't see like
you don't see exactly. You forget some of the time.
I have family members that are like, I haven't seen your kids because I don't post pictures of my kids on the internet. And like there's times where they've come out on the internet if you look hard enough. Please don't. But like but like.
No, I hear what you're saying.
And I realized like, oh shit, like that aunt that she hasn't seen my daughter in years, right? Like, and now I make it a point to like every so often I'm like, oh, let me send some pictures out to them.
I do forget about that shit too.
And part of me is like, they can come fucking visit me if they really want to see my kids, you know, like or my family.
Did you used to get letters though?
And yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of died.
I wrote letters.
That kind of died, dude. Like
I mean, I don't know.
I used to get letters all the time, or like birthday cards, or I send birthday cards, and I.
Oh, you mean like not in the military?
Yeah,
you mean just like outside?
Yeah.
I still, my grandmother still sends me.
That's what I'm talking about.
I still like. Actually, I'm the worst at it, but I try and write thank you notes once in a while.
Well, that's one of those things that the older generation that's kind of like not carrying into ours. Text messaging kind of like takes away all that, dude. Honestly.
Well, and like when the text stuff where it's like, it's so easy to. You and I have done this where like you're in text messages and I'm like, I know Nick likes to text, and I'm like I need to not put. I need to wait until I can have a conversation about this because I don't want things to be lost in translation.
Yeah.
And when I say something, like I want people to understand exactly what I intended, and I want to say it once. And that's not because I'm impatient, it's because I want to select the right words.
I understand.
And the inflection and everything in my voice when I say it. I think writing helps with that. I think journaling for yourself, I'm just kind of starting my journey on that side of it, right? Like I'm just kind of starting my like meditation, journaling. I've been trying to meditate for years. I think I've successfully achieved it.
I was just going to ask you, have you
10 seconds maybe?
Because I'm not good at it.
Dude, I've done breathing exercises where I like almost passed out sometimes.
What we're talking about is silencing your brain. Like is to actually sit and not think about anything for a prolonged amount of time. And when you realize it's a lot harder than you think it is, dude, it's not easy to do.
So I had the therapist that I've worked with recently did a guided meditation for me. And it's an audio file that I have on my phone.
Okay.
It's really fucking cool.
Like you talk to yourself, you're saying?
No, she was talking to me in the thing, but we did several sessions and then she built this thing for me. So she asked me a series of questions and then she curated a narrative in a guided meditation. And I thought it was like the coolest thing. I had listened to it so many times that I found new things in it.
Like you didn't pick up at first, you're saying?
Yeah, and I like got to the point where I was like, oh, I know this is coming. And it was like it's like a fall road, and you're walking down, and like the colors, and she did it. She knew where I was from, so she did it to the environment that I grew up. Like
that's kind of cool.
There's little shit where you're like unpacking Easter
eggs
in it. You're like, yo, like I didn't realize you did that the first 100 times, but now I get it. And that's super cool because the power of just like 30 minutes of narrative on your phone is really interesting to me, and it made me want to do. And now I got into like,
what kind of learner are you?
I don't know, dude. I mean, I've learned all the different ways. I think I prefer different things in different contexts, right? Like I'm very analytical on some things. So if you try and explain a concept to me, and I need to go look at 50,000 lines of data and run my own formulaic analysis of what's going on to understand it, I may need to do that.
Gotcha.
I may pick up on it from a video. When I was in school and when I did certain things I had to learn from reading, regardless of whether I wanted to or not, I had to. And then Audible became a thing, and I started doing that. And like, there was one point in my undergrad where I could buy a textbook and it had an audio file with it, and I was like, that's cool, but I still squirrel and like think of something else in the middle of this. So that's a thing, and I probably have a little dyslexia and some TBI stuff going on. So it depends, man.
I think that comes to the teacher as well, dude, because after the longest time I realized I had learning something going on with my learning. I don't know whether it was personally I wasn't picking it up, I wasn't listening enough, I had ADD, whatever it was, but then all of a sudden I had a great teacher that kind of tailored it for the way I needed to hear it or how I need to learn. I actually learned, and I was like, oh shit, this is how it's supposed to go. then I started to appreciate like what a teacher actually is, because I mean maybe I hadn't had one for the longest, or maybe this was the first one that like got down to my level so I can understand it. But
well, the incentives matter too. Like, what are you learning? Are you doing your annual cyber awareness
if
training?
you're actually like locked in or not.
Are you learning how to fire a 240 and make sure the 240 will fire when you need it to, and conduct immediate remedial action, and like the things, or like tie a tourniquet, or
You're talking hands-on stuff.
it depends, man. It depends on what you're learning, right? So like you're incentivized, if you're incentivized to learn, that the Marine Corps way of teaching, right? Goal nest, gain attention. I can still remember this if I think about it, but gain attention, overview, learning objectives, methods, or methods media, right? So what I'm going to teach you with.
Okay.
If you think about it, every class is taught to you that way, right? So your gain attention is that YouTube video they pull up in the beginning of the class, right? Or like, the live leak shit we used to watch back in the day. Overview, like this is the class you'll be learning on, and this is how you'll be judged. The learning objectives, you need to know these enabling and
TLOs and ELOs,
right? And then aided by my PowerPoint presentation and informal lecture method, right? And then evaluations, you will be evaluated, blah, 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 right? Safeties and cease training, there's a bathroom, there's a door, place to get your fire, go outside. And then transitions, like how I'm gonna go in between things. So when you become an instructor, you learn that method. And I think it works for some people, but I think it gives people a common framework.
Well, think about when you were teaching a group of people, and you
I just did a 16-hour
PowerPoint.
No. I mean, part of it's PowerPoint. I do about 6 hours aided by PowerPoint, but I stop to just ask questions. And sometimes it's a certification course that I have to teach. So like I know people are like, yeah, whatever. Click to the next thing and get me through this. Okay. So then there's back briefs. Like how much do I need to evaluate if they know this, right? Like so I'm asking them questions about it, and then I'm doing a walk around in their place of work to be like, hey, remember we talked about this? Show me some of these things,
Practical.
right?
Yeah, okay.
So I have to kind of check off all those, and I've got some videos and some like all the things, right? You have to check it off for everybody. I like instructing if it's something I'm interested in, and I get very bored quickly. So once I build a course,
well, do you appreciate instructing it, or do you appreciate when the people that you're instructing pick it up and it's something you did?
Oh, well, the results matter, right?
Yeah,
but you're not going to win all the time with that. Like when I go teach a firearms course, and you're like, well, this guy fucking sucks, but like the rest of these dudes are doing really good, and like, should we put him off in the corner? Should we integrate? Like, how should we move him around? I applied different things all over the place. First and foremost, like if it's high risk training, you got to be safe.
Yeah.
Right. So like if somebody can't perform to a level where they're safe, and you can't control that variable by putting guardrails and backstops and left and right lateral limits and all these things on it, and get them to work inside the box you need to work in, then you really have to start to like employ contingencies, right? And you have to look at like sometimes one person can take away from the group.
Yeah,
right?
that's very true.
Having multiple instructors is helpful for that. So like your instructor-student ratio matters on certain things. I like the didactic side of it, but I also like the practical application side. And if I can get somebody to have that aha moment where they're like, oh, this might save my fucking life someday.
Yeah.
When I tell people about tourniquets and I give the first like 10 minutes of my tourniquet informal lecture and go through the PowerPoints, and then I'm like, a tourniquet saved my life. And they're like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, here's the story. And like, I go into varying degrees of that on how much I actually want to penetrate and like see, like, fucker, I'm telling you this, have one, know how to use it.
It hits different with that.
So it's interesting, man. There's times where I've walked away, felt like a fucking rock star. There's times where I walked away and I was like, well, they fucking did the bare minimum possible to get through that course, and I'm glad they work for somebody else.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and there's been times where as an employer, people do that shit in my course, and I'm like, remediate that motherfucker.
Yeah. At least you have control of it at that level. Yeah.
Wow, but it's hard though.
Dude, I couldn't believe the people that went through the some of the CCW courses, like from Allied, or like these people didn't even know how to put a mag in the weapon, dude. Like,
that's most people.
That's terrifying.
That's most people.
That's
most
terrifying.
cops don't have their magazines facing the right way on their belts. Like, it's not the same way anymore.
Did you see that? Did you see that recently? Not to completely skip over the last thing that got put out. The guy, he pulls the guy over. He pistol whips him and he shoots him dead. This came out yesterday, dude. Yeah. Oh man, you gotta take a look at
that. Talking about the toxic social media shit. Like, the war porn and fucking death porn
that's
stuff.
A fact.
Like,
that's a fact.
I'm not saying I'm glad it's there.
I hear you though. I hear you.
But like, just like you're like, you gotta. like I probably would not look at that stuff when I wake up. I would not.
I know. I don't even think of that. I don't even think of that, dude.
Like the timing matters on it. Like I'm not going to watch a war movie before I go to sleep at night. I really try to avoid that stuff because I'm like, oh, like you're sitting there like, oh fuck yeah, you know, like it's cool sometimes, but I have to prepare myself before and after. And be thoughtful
you're at a
about
whole
those
other
things.
level with it, dude, because you're
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. You can't just like close your eyes and walk into shit and then be like, oh, weird that I got that result that I knew was going to come.
Yeah.
If I really thought about it, you got to be thoughtful about those things, you know. So it's great if you're going to go to the gym.
But that's it. Yeah.
But not if you're trying to like,
like what if I'm trying to
go to
sleep?
sleep and like get up to
often,
work.
dude.
Yeah. Just like I don't know. Like when you were a fucking Lance Corporal and you're like, oh yeah, I can go out to the fucking tropics and get fucking drunk till 4 in the morning and then go run a PFT. No problem.
Same shit.
Now you can't. Like your body is not.
You're finally getting to the point where you push it far enough.
It doesn't bounce back as fast.
Exactly.
And it goes whatever you're putting into your body, like food, the shit you view. Like I said, man, I need to. I think one of my biggest things that I want to work on is like reducing the social media stuff. Reducing.
That means you've seen a benefit from limiting it.
Oh yeah, I've gone off of it for like a couple weeks at a time where I'm just like I'm not fucking touching that, but I miss things, I miss people. Like I do like some of the interaction part, but then I have to like go out and
just like a fucking drug, dude. It's like you're withdrawing from it, dude.
It is. It's tiny dopamine hits over and over again, and it's like designed that way by like some of the best Ivy League fucking engineers to be like, and psychologists and developmental psychologists like. They're all in it being like, how can we get them to stay on this for long and convert
how can
them
we get
to
the
sales?
most money? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're the product.
That's a whole other topic.
Well, I mean, I think there's doses of everything. There's the thing that moderation applies in all things.
But still, are we not the first generation that is getting that dosed on us? Think about it. You remember.
At least you grew up without it. Like my kids, I worry about because when my daughter's like, I want my tablet. I'm like, ugh. Or my son, who I'm like, hey. Your electronics are gone, and you're not.
This
in
is
trouble.
why you need to not. Yeah.
You're not in trouble, but we're not going to do. We're going to go outside.
They look at it that way.
Yeah,
right.
you didn't do anything wrong. It's just too much.
That's
but at the same time, like I let my kid play Call of Duty with me. Like we get on and he'll run kids on Call of Duty, and I'm like, all right, time for some Madden. You just had a kill count of like 30 people on a Warzone. Like we need to pull you off of this. There's some good things he's getting spatial reasoning out of it. He's getting problem solving out of it. But and I think we're like, hey, like this is fucked up stuff.
Yeah.
And we can have those conversations, and then we can go play some football or go play outside and be like, hey,
they're going to get better at certain things that.
I hope so.
You know what I mean?
I hope so.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, I hope so. I worry about that. I worry about some of those.
If that's true, yeah, I hear you.
You go through as a parent, you're like, am I making?
I mean, look at drones, dude. Look at the people that are operating drones, dude. It's a fucking video game. I mean.
Oh yeah, that's kind of the next one. My next big task is train a bunch of drone operators.
Yeah.
I'm a civilian drone pilot.
You got your cert? You got your cert for that?
A long time ago.
I just looked up the other day how to get it out here.
Here's the thing that I need. I had a pretty easy in being a JTAC or a TAC-P.
Oh. Okay.
You understand airspace and control of that airspace to a certain degree, and you translate that a little bit to the civilian side, and do some studying, and you're pretty good to go. I like literally went. I'm also a good test taker. But I went and was like, fuck it, I'll see what I do on this test. If I fail it, I can take it again in like a week or whatever. And I passed it with like a low 80%.
Really?
And I was like, sweet, that's done, check. Now I need to go actually figure this out.
Yeah.
And I figured it out like in the field and working with some...
Fuck it up a couple times.
Drone. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I flew a $2,000 drone into a garage door and knocked Jesus, like thinking it was going to be obstacle avoidance, but I didn't update the firmware. So, I paid
that's
for that.
all pre-programmed?
Oh, you got to it's like an iPhone, bro. It's a computer. You got to do over-the-air firmware updates to it.
How much autonomously are you?
Autonomously, like not in control.
In control. How much in control? Like, are you actually? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, by the letter of the Part 107 program, like you are in control the entire time. Now there are.
I'm talking plotting different segments on it, if you will, versus you controlling it to make this turn. And
most of the time, people are live on the sticks.
Okay.
When you see it commercially, there are programs where we're building, but there still needs to be some oversight. You still need to be in control of the thing, and there's guardrails and fail safes so that a quadcopter doesn't go flying into a crowd of people.
Aren't we seeing Vegas just implement that right now?
We've had tight airspace for a long time. So we have, if you're out here, you got McCarran International, right? No, Harry Reid International.
Yeah.
I struggle with that. I can't believe they did that in my lifetime. Changed the name of airports. But Harry Reid International, and then you have Nellis Air Force Base, Creech Air Force Base, and then the FBOs, right? So Henderson private, North Las Vegas private.
Also, they're all close.
The private. So you have and then the whole strip corridor is all restricted airspace, heavily restricted airspace.
That makes sense.
We've done counter UAS stuff on the strip as well too, like with a lot of different electronic warfare. I wouldn't call it electronic warfare, but electronic countermeasures. And then I've seen using condors or birds of prey to take out
Really?
birds as well. Yeah,
That's cool.
It's wild, right? I don't know if that's a preferred method nowadays, but like it's a method. So there's
you
that.
talking about eagles taking them down?
I think they're hawks.
That's
Yeah, they're
crazy.
hawks.
That's crazy.
Trained to go like out and take out drones. Yeah, that's a thing. You can like look
That's
online.
wild.
There's a whole like community of people that do it. It's fairly effective. It works
I bet it is.
1-to-1.
Yeah, 1-to-1.
A hawk ain't going around from what I've seen and like
Take
bing,
out-
bing, bing, bing,
yeah,
bing,
yeah,
hitting a
yeah.
swarm, right? So
And
it's
that's how they're going to be implemented in a certain, you know what I'm saying? A swarm of them. Yeah.
it's wild, dude. You like
Did
it's
you not see
happening on
what
the southern border, right?
what they did the other night with the drone show above the sphere?
Oh no, they do drone shows all the time.
I just saw it the other. There was a
Wild.
ton of them, dude.
It's wild. The drone shows are cool. There is a certain level of autonomy to that, where there's a pre-programmed path and it's moving in a grid, right? So like that's kind of how that happens.
Are they pre-positioned and the colors just moving on them? Is that what's happening?
Both. It's a combination of LED
So
lights
they are
moving
moving as
and,
well. Yeah.
and drones moving. So
That's wild.
And
That looks so good.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming in, and now like there's limitations that are being overcome at a commercial level. So like
So things
just
are changing. Yeah.
Yeah, just like you have the most powerful computer that you could have ever imagined when you were 14 in your pocket, right? Drones now or UAS can fly longer, fly in higher wind conditions, fly with more control over them, more fail-safes, better connectivity, higher resolution cameras, better thermal cameras, all these things, and then fixed wing, right? Like, so you put a quadcopter half hour, an hour maybe, the payload battery weight type deal, but now you put fixed wing, like I can fly for 8 hours. I'm not saying that's the case,
crazy.
but like 8, 16,
Something
as many hours as you
yeah,
really
yeah,
want,
yeah.
and accomplish certain things. So like what problems do those solve? Situational awareness is improved. Drones and first responder programs that are going into law enforcement. Vegas just implemented a pretty large one with Skydio, I believe, is the contractor for it. And we'll see. They've got to train up Part 107 pilots.
Yeah.
They have autonomy. They have contact charging pads where the drones will come out of the top, fly a pattern, and there's some kind of connecting files where they can go gain situational awareness as law enforcement is pulling in, right? So like if somebody or a piece of technology, right, like shot spotters, those exist, right? Shock spotters, flock cameras, like all the different aggregated pieces of technology coming together, say there's a shooting happening in this apartment complex. Well, now we can put a drone or two up in the air prior to law enforcement arriving, gain some situational awareness, and it's improving survivability and lethality.
Damn.
God forbid lethality in law enforcement, but survivability in law enforcement going into it, right? The first responder to an active shooter is not always a SWAT cop.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like that's just the reality of it, right?
True.
So I'm for that. I'm also cautious of the invasions of privacy and like all the things that come out of it. Like it's scary
Do
to
we
think
want
of
a sky full of drones all the time? You know what I mean? Like that's what's going to come.
At some point, there's going to be a drone attack with an explosive in
Absolutely.
the U.S. Right?
Absolutely.
Like if it hasn't already happened.
Exactly. I'm surprised it hasn't.
I mean, I think it's debatable whether or not it has happened on the southern border.
Yeah.
But like
exactly.
if it hasn't already happened.
Big scale, large scale. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it's kind of a race right now in that technology to figure it out.
The defense, the defeat.
For the good.
Yeah.
Like for the good guys to figure it out first.
Yeah.
Right?
And the technology is getting so much easier or easier to get or cheaper. I mean, the latter we survive. I mean, they figure out new ways and new opportunities with AI. It seems like every 4 months, dude. Like, I mean, is this stuff, is it just going to keep getting smarter, keep getting better to the point where like, who knows where we're going to, be at?
I mean, there's diminishing returns. Like there's a point where you're like, oh, this isn't useful anymore, right?
To,
So
to
like,
advance, yeah.
yeah, we'll find out how useful it is relative to the cost. And the other component of like the AI world is like, it takes a lot of fucking power.
That's true.
Like our power bill, our electricity cost, and as a commodity,
And water too to cool that down, right?
yeah, water, power, all the resources, right? So I think that's to be determined. I think there's really intelligent people that are speculating like, this might be a fucking problem.
Yeah.
You don't need to Google something on Chat GPT something when it's just, I don't know.
I saw China buried theirs due to the water. Just so, like in the ocean, they buried their servers in the ocean to cool them down, so they weren't pumping water through them.
We'll see. I mean,
Interesting.
I mean, have you ever driven by Switch out here?
No.
You should go drive. I mean, go look up the company Switch and the data centers that they have, and then go drive by that place.
Really?
It's on the southwest side of Vegas, just off the 15. You've seen it, you just don't realize it. It looks like Fort Knox.
Really?
It's like one of the biggest data centers, and they have them up in Reno, Nevada, and Utah are great places for.
Were they
data
just
centers.
enclosed buildings?
There's server farms with all kinds of
crazy.
And like the size that you can store stuff on gets smaller and smaller and smaller, right? So you're constantly changing stuff out, keeping it cool. You have compartmentalization of it. There's probably SCIF component. There are server areas that have SCIF component. AWS works for Amazon Web Services, if I recall. I might be wrong on this, but they were at one point the contractor for Central Intelligence Agency.
Oh yeah,
right. Palantir Technologies.
Yeah, you're right.
All things to pay attention to, right? Like these are all part of the industrial war complex, but they're all companies that are changing how we do things.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're getting ingratiated into our everyday life.
Yeah.
Wild. I think we can put a bookmark right there, bro. Good job.